Ooh, how you doing? You alright? Tell you what, fasten your seatbelts. This feels very, very big indeed. Hello, welcome to live coverage of Wrexham against Cardiff City in the last 16 of the Carabao Cup. Goodness me, I mean, this is something. This is really something. A rivalry which has lain dormant for 21 years since we beat Cardiff here in a penalty shootout in the semi-final of the Welsh Premier Cup. In fact, the last two games here between Wrexham and Cardiff have ended in Wrexham winning the penalty. Oh, well, beg your pardon. Have ended in a penalty shootout. Wrexham won the last one, and the one before was won by Cardiff. I'm Mark Griffiths. I'll be joined soon by Mia Roberts and Mark Howard, who are currently doing Wrexham Live on the club's YouTube channel. And I can only tell you that the atmosphere here is absolutely crackling. I can't wait for this game to get cracking. The noise has been brilliant. The Cardiff supporters have been loud. The Wrexham fans making lots of noise now. Oh, we've been having Enter Sandman. Smells like teen spirit. Oh, all the stuff to rouse you before a game. And with the buzz of all the TV coverage here, we were on national TV today. And there's lots of different, well, I mean, our Wrexham Live guys have had to go indoors because the size of the pitch is all taken up by the different TV channels who are here covering it live. There is a remarkable feel of a huge game here. Oh, it's built up so much, and the noise when those teams come out in a minute, it's going to be quite something. I can guarantee you that. The teams, though, I mean, that's the first key thing. And Wrexham, of course, well, we knew that we were going to rotate. In fact, that's been a bit of a subject of anxiety for me. How much are we going to rotate? Well, we've made 7 changes from the side that did so well at Middlesbrough, and of course nearly came out with the 3 points from the side that is second in the table. So Callum Burton is in goal. Across the back, Max Cleworth has the armband, yet another captain this season, and with him in the back three, Connor Cody, who of course hasn't played since that QPR match, and George Thomason. Thomason plays as the left-sided centre-back. Wing-backs, Ryan Barnett on the right, Ryan Longman on the left. And then, fancy an energetic, combative, feisty midfield? How does George Dobson, flanked by Lewis O'Brien and Ollie Rathbone, sound? Yes, Rathbone, his first appearance of the season. There's plenty of fire in that trio. And then Nathan Broadhead will start playing off Sam Smith. There's been a change on the bench. Ben Sheaf was named on the bench, but he has now been withdrawn and replaced by Issa Kabore. So the Wrexham bench, Arthur Okonkwo, Dom Hyam, James McLean, Ryan Hardy, Josh Windass, Kabore, Kiefer Moore, Dan Scarr and Matty James. So plenty of players who are able to influence a game off the bench there, obviously. Now then, Cardiff. Well, Cardiff have made 5 changes from the side that lost at the weekend at Bolton. Nathan Trott stays in goal. They've brought in a right back, Ronan Kyoto. Centre-backs, Will Fish and Callum Chambers. And Chambers comes in, but, you know, he is a very experienced player. Left back is Joel Bagan. 2 fresh players in the midfield, double pivot. Joel Colwell and Ryan Wintle. And then in the second line, we've got some dangerous attacking players. Abari Kellyman, Ruben Colwell and Kian Ashford. Up front, a player who, since arriving in January, has made a real impact for them, and that is Yusuf Saleh. On the bench for them, Matthew Turner, Gabriel Osho, David Turnbull, Alex Robertson, as the teams come out. Well, goodness me. And the noise, exactly what you'd expect. Terrific atmosphere here. Giovanni Michal, I tell you what, this is going to be quite something. I'm glad to say that Mia and Mark have managed to make their way up. And well done, both of you, because you were plonked on the other side of the pitch as well, thanks to these inconsiderate national broadcasters, whoever Mark Pugac thinks he is. Good to see you. And also, this just feels huge, doesn't it?
Oh, it really does. Even just soaking up the atmosphere before the game. Mia's going to laugh at me now, but yeah, we went the long way around just so I could get a few cheers off the fans.
Yeah, they definitely weren't cheering for me. It was Mark getting a full round of applause from the whole Stoke Kairos.
And quite right too, absolutely. Rotated team from us. Thomason at centre-back, I guess, is the headline news, I guess, isn't it, really? See how he can deal with that. He'll certainly be able to bring the ball out from the back in that left-sided position, won't he?
Yeah, but a lot of energy in the team as well. I think that's what you're seeing the Wrexham performance tonight. There'll be loads of energy, loads of pressing, trying to get the ball as much into Sam Smith and obviously support that as much as possible.
Smith's looked good in recent matches. He's earned this opportunity, hasn't he? He lost 2-3 games off the bench. He's made impacts, and it'll be nice to see him get the chance from the start. Got a couple of goals already in this competition.
Yeah, he's absolutely deserved it. I just hope he relishes every moment of it tonight, because he could be someone who could be the real difference maker in this game tonight. And like you say, he has made that impact over the last few games when he's come on, not just going forward offensively, but also defensively, defending his own box at times, like Kiefer Moore's expected to do. And he knows that's something he's going to have to add to his game if he wants to be picked ahead of Kiefer.
Yeah, exactly. A tall order, but Moore, we really do squeeze everything we can out of in the league matches. So, yeah, Smith has a chance here to show what he can do. Ryan Hardy and Moore on the bench, of course. As for Cardiff, top of the league, but lost it at the weekend. 5 changes for them. They've got both Caldwells in there. And it's just a chance for them, isn't it? Almost I'm reluctant to say a hit to nothing, because they're going to come in here confident, especially having won at Burnley already this season. But yeah, a real chance for them to show that despite relegation, they want to make the point that they're still the top dogs in Welsh football.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's part of probably the team talk that Brian Barry Murphy will have given, spoil the party, if you like. That's what they want to do here tonight for Wrexham. They want to come here and really ruin Wrexham's night and their sort of cup hopes, if you like, from almost touching that quarter-final for what would be really historic moment for Wrexham, but also for Cardiff. So they're going to be right up for it.
What a spectacle for Welsh football this is as well, by the way. Just you can feel it tonight in the atmosphere, that the two sets of fans that have been craving this opportunity to play each other. And I think hopefully the football lives up to the expectation.
Absolutely. I can assure you, from when I was a kid in the 80s and 90s, Wrexham Cardiff was scary on and off the pitch. It's a proper rivalry. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. I think I would dislike us losing this game to Cardiff more than losing to Chester, if I'm perfectly honest. Admittedly, as Wrexham gets us underway, Cardiff have swapped us around, so we're kicking towards the Stoke Cold Brew coffee stand in the first half, and immediately Cleworth has gone long, and Wrexham trying to pen Cardiff in. They get out though, and it's a long ball over the top, which is asking a lot of Ashford. Cody gets it partly clear. Dobson chasing after it, and in the end it's a foot in by Broadhead. Can't stop Capaccio from feeding it on down the right hand side though. Wrexham put pressure on as the ball goes backwards, and Fish is forced to go back to his keeper. There's already been a goal in the other matches. Wickham are leading Fulham 1-0. I was thinking beforehand, it feels to me like the quarterfinals will be the winners of this, and 7 Premier League teams, where obviously Wickham didn't read the script. As Cardiff are moving the ball around confidently at the back. Fish brings it out, looks for the big diagonal for Ashford. Barnes is back defending. And ball falls on the left-hand side. And Bagan will work it backwards as Cardiff are starting to settle into possession here. Driving run by Chambers. Bagan again, put under pressure by Rathbone. Good foot in then by Dobson. Cleworth trying to come forwards. Caught in possession. Danger here as Cardiff break forwards, but Wrexham get back in possession quickly. And a hopeful long-range shot in the end by Ruben Colwell is blocked easily. But Cardiff continue to have good pressure. Ball out to the right-hand side now. And Capaccio cuts in, left-footed shot as well, blocked by Thomason. Throw into Cardiff. Positive start by the League One team.
Yeah, they're a possession-based side, just as that ball comes in.
Yeah, Barnett underneath it as well. Flicks it clear, and that'll go for a corner, will it? No, throw in, I think. Right by the corner flag. Yeah, the good possession already, haven't they?
Yeah, they want to be on the ball, they want to play. The manager has instilled that since he's come in. Certainly one of these new sort of modern managers who wants to play good, strong football, no matter what sort of division he's in. You can see that already in this game.
Here's Fish, the centre-back again. Capaccio's looked lively early on, and he prods the ball inside to Joel Colwell. He looks around for options. They'll have to go back in the end to Wintle. But Cardiff controlling the ball at the moment. Chambers working out at the left-hand side. Drives it inside sharply. And Joel Colwell's able to drive forward. So Barnett intercepts, chips down the line. Smith, good strength, holding his man up, and Barnett's unlucky. Knocks it out from between his feet. He felt he was pushed. Doesn't get the decision from the referee. Ex-Wrexham goalkeeper Gavin Ward is on Cardiff's coaching staff now. And the referee's also called Gavin Ward, which I find alarmingly suspicious.
Very suspicious about that.
Never trust a goalkeeper.
Or a referee.
Oh yeah, I mean, that goes without saying, doesn't it? Cardiff moving it around in the middle of the pitch. They feed it over in the end to Ashford on the left-hand side. He comes inside one, and it's Levi Colwell allowing Bagan to take over. Wrexham really are being starved of possession at the moment. Wintle back out to the left. Cardiff again patient. Nice moves on the edge of the box. Is played in, poor pass though. Although Cleworth, his clearance is charged down. Throw into Wrexham level the edge of the area.
Cardiff seems to start games well anyway. I think a lot of their previous results, they score a lot of goals in the first half. So I think part of the tactic tonight from Wrexham is to just stifle that. We've already seen one block from Dobson from a shot and a block cross from him. So I think he's going to be very important tonight, busy man.
And in that central role in the three, which he started off last season and was in utterly spectacular form. And since then has played more on the right-hand side of the midfield three, but he gets a chance to do the Matty James, Ben Sheaf role again. Rathbone's on the right of the three, with O'Brien on the left, and it's O'Brien chasing hard and getting a foot in, forcing the ball into the Cardiff half. Fish rolls it down the line. Wrexham getting tight on the halfway line, and so Cardiff have to come back into their own half to find the angle to move it around. Fish to Capaccio on the halfway line, right hand side. Again, Wrexham though, as we saw on Saturday, so polished in that mid-block, making Cardiff move it around. But Levi Colwell is really drifting about and finding some nice positions. Good tackle by Dobson, but it spins kindly for Ashford, who's on the left-hand side now, drifting in. There's a nice little run from right to left on the edge of the area. He doesn't use it. Bagan pulls it inside again. Cardiff very patient. It's Fish over to the right-hand side. Little ball down the line, looking for Capaccio. He's got two Wrexham men on him and he runs it off the pitch. But they are really calm in possession. They probe, they'll come in to a pocket, come back out again and reassess. They moved around, they're easy on the eye, aren't they?
Yeah, Cardiff are moving the ball really well from side to side. I think they're just trying to draw Wrexham out a little bit, but again, Wrexham being very disciplined, staying in their shape and structure and not giving anything away just yet.
Cardiff play it towards the edge of the area. Cody heading it clear. Good foot in by Broadhead, but Cardiff again win it back, and now Bagan's in space on the left-hand side. Barnett, who's been playing very deep at the moment, comes across, a decent cross to the far post, a bit too much on it. Longman has to help it on its way. Throw by the corner flag, right-hand side for Cardiff. Taken quickly. And it's good pressure that, which wins a throw-in for Wrexham. As O'Brien stepped out, got a foot in. Wrexham take it quickly and are moving it around at the back. Cleworth now in his own penalty area. Helps it on to Barnett. Barnett drilling it through the middle. Intercepted and kept under control well by Chambers. Little cute touch by Levi Colwell is a nice one inside. Referee says the physical contact by Dobson is acceptable. It was borderline, but I think just about okay. And a little ball around the corner is a good one by Longman. Now Smith finds O'Brien on the left-hand side. Wrexham on the first meaningful attack of the game. Prodded outside again to Longman. Longman's taking on Capaccio. And he wins a throw by the corner flag. That was good, sharp breakaway play by Wrexham.
Yeah, it's really nice. It's the first real counter-attack Wrexham have had, and they work it really well. It's really nice play from Longman. I'm not sure if he intends the one into Smith. I'm not sure if he's actually going for Lewis O'Brien. But O'Brien had a really good start to this game already. He's one of the ones on this Wrexham side who looking to break back into that starting 11 in the league.
Yeah, there's certainly plenty of incentive for these Wrexham players, a lot of whom are not in the current league team, as Cleworth goes back to Burton, who knocks it long, and as Fish has plenty of time, is able to let the ball bounce through to Trott. No score, 8th minute. And Cardiff controlling possession as they work it over again to the left-hand side. Remember, you can get in touch using the hashtag AskWrexham, ASKWXM, on Twitter and Blue Sky, as Levi Colwell massively overhits the switch and puts it out almost on the full for a goal kick.
One thing that's really hard on nights like this is when you're the Wrexham team playing against a team that has so much possession of the ball, you get sucked into playing that tactic yourself instead of sticking to your own way of playing. So what you're going to find is Wrexham forcing passes that you wouldn't normally see, and it's just because you want to keep the ball as much as possible. Like that, for instance, is unnecessary pressure, but because you're being forced to try and keep the ball because of Cardiff pressing so high, you're almost forcing play.
And that starvation of the ball as well. You just want to make the most of it when you got it. As Wrexham have it in their own penalty area. Cody goes long and it's easily dealt with. Attacked well by Thomason, who wins it in the air. And now he receives and is calm, finding Dobson. Good ball by Dobson. Cuts out Cardiff's midfield. O'Brien drives to the middle. Broadhead wants it. Fed to Smith. Cutting inside on the left channel. Couldn't quite take it in his path. Capaccio covered well. It's a good ball by Capaccio as well. Under pressure to square it over to the left-hand side. And Cardiff will slow things down. Ashford playing it back to the edge of the area.
Great pass from Dobson to break the lines. I think that's what Wrexham are going to have to play on, is trying to find O'Brien, trying to find Rathbone in the pockets in behind their midfield.
Yeah, it just took 3 Cardiff players out with one straight pass through the middle.
That's the beauty if you can find that pass, though, because Cardiff are going to press so high up the pitch. If you can find that pass and break that line, you do find yourself counter-attacking a team.
Big kick over the top, and Cleworth is being fouled. Surely, referee spots that as Salek, who's a dangerous customer up front, was pulling Cleworth's arm. Cody takes it quickly. O'Brien, nice little ball. Broadhead's picked up a nice position between the lines and is breaking down the left, but under pressure. He's tackled, throw into Wrexham, 15 yards into Cardiff's territory, left-hand side. Longman goes across to take. Quickly back into his own half. Here now is Cleworth. Cody back to Burton. Takes a touch and clips it, looking for Barnett. Barnett heads it in his field, but only picks out Wintle, and now he finds Levi Colwell in space between the lines. He can help it out wide here. Kellyman at the sight of goal. Big tackle by Longman. Here's Colwell drilling it, and big block then by Longman. Cardiff still have it on the edge. Brilliant back heel by Colwell to his brother, and another good block this time by Rathbone. Throw to Cardiff, but threatening moments. Wrexham really had to put their bodies on the line.
Yeah, they did, but they got in front of pretty much every effort, didn't they? Did really well defensively just to make sure nothing reached Callum Burton. But both Colwells, particularly Rubin, started this game ever so well, looking really sharp, just some nice little tricks and flicks. He's just got that freedom so far this season under Brian Murphy to just go across that sort of front 3, really.
Here come Cardiff again. Bagan working it out wide. Ashford cutting inside, taking on Barnett, gets the cross in. great interception by Dobson. Off balance, managed to control it. Sam Smith nods it down to Broadhead. And it ricochets back to Smith. Now can Wrexham break? Broadhead's broken down the left. O'Brien looks at him early. He's not offside despite Cardiff's appeals. Players getting up in support now as he takes on Capaccio. Round the outside, fills it back. O'Brien shoots. Well blocked. Broadhead shoots and puts it wide. There's half a chance. He's about 15 yards out, wide of goal on the left-hand side. Drilled it wider than the post.
Yeah, well, I think we've already seen 3 or 4 counter-attacks by Wrexham, and you can see the game plan right there. Just how dangerous we look on him. Nathan Broadhead does well. Little lay back in to Lewis O'Brien. Then the striker just gets it all wrong, doesn't he? I think he should maybe trust his left foot a bit more in that occasion.
Yeah, looking at the replay of it, it's a mistake at the back by Thomason now. Then Colwell squares a great chance. What a save by Burton, but it'll be put into the net. Wrexham ask for offside. It is not. Hang on, what's the ref? Yeah, it's not given. The referee has whisked his lips, but Cardiff have taken the lead. It was a hell of a save by Burton.
Unbelievable save that by Burton. He's so unlucky there. It's one of the most frustrating things as a goalkeeper. Initially you make a great save, and Cardiff on the front foot managed to tap it in.
Thomason's error as he lost the ball on the edge of his own area. Salek it was who knocked into the open goal. I must admit, I thought for a moment he'd missed it. Cody was on the far side of the goal and it seemed almost ricochet off him, but yeah, Thomason, moments after Broadhead missed that chance, brought it down, tried to turn in his own half, was caught in possession, and when the ball's drilled in, brilliant save that by Burton, and yeah, it was tucked in easily by Salek from about a yard out.
Yeah, there's been a couple of those occasions though already in this game where that back line have been forced to let that ball bounce. It's always going to bring on pressure when you don't get that first touch away. And like you say, it's a great save by Callum Burton. He'll be so frustrated by that one. But really good striker play by Selleck just to make sure he's following up.
So Wrexham behind as Thomason feeds it down the line. Good return pass. Thomason again nicely down the flank. And held up and fed back to him by O'Brien. Cody with the big diagonal looking for Barnett. Bagan backpedals as well to head it out of play. Throw to Wrexham 20 yards out. Barnett with the ball in his hands. It's not as if Wrexham haven't been behind before in this cup run, of course. Came back dramatically from 2 down against Hull. As the balls work wide, Longman turns, loses balance and loses the ball. And the ball goes back to Trott in the Cardiff goal.
I hate to say it, but I said it earlier about Cardiff starting games well and scoring a lot of goals in the first half. Again, it goes back to another point we previously mentioned about taking chances at the back and playing the ball slowly across the back line. It's not something that Wrexham are used to doing. I think that's just something they've been caught in possession. Thomason may be an unfamiliar in that role.
But ironically, you look at him filling in at centre-back and think, you know, the actual defensive part of his game, but it was him dallying on the ball, ironically, something which normally you'd think he's very comfortable with in possession. That's cost us. So here's Cardiff coming forwards and looking sharp. Capaccio inverted, feeds it forward. Salek helps it on, and again it's Colville working it wide. Bagan has got Ashford outside and plays him in. Chance to cross, stands her up nicely, headed clear, only as far as Wintle, who shoots. Great block again by Dobson, who hurls himself at it. But Wrexham are under the cosh here and haven't really, apart from a couple of quick breaks, had much really in response. Bagan on the left feeds it inside again. Dobson is stepping forward to try and hurry Cardiff in their use of the ball. Wintle on the halfway line. And he's quite happy, no real pressure on the Wrexham fans, frustrated that nobody came across to hurry him up. It's plenty early in this game, but Wrexham not showing enough yet. 16th minute, 1-0 down to Cardiff, who certainly have started off the better. It's a good surge by Levi Colwell. His pass is wrong and he wants a free kick, doesn't get it. Throw to Wrexham. Brian quickly back to Thomason. Goes over the top. It's a good idea. Smith on a chase. Too much on it though. It'll bounce easily through to Trot.
Yeah, I think that's a really good example, though, of you win the ball back from a sloppy bit of play from Cardiff. Just keep it for a few minutes. Cardiff is still on that bit of a high, got a bit of that momentum still from that goal. Can Thomason just keep hold of it, just make a few passes, get them in, get Ollie Rathbone a few touches on the ball.
That's good little passing triangle by Cardiff. Barnett's coming back well, and Cleworth. And well, Cardiff had a few shouts for free kicks not given. That one didn't look like a foul to me. Ashford just ran into Cleworth more than anything else, who won the ball cleanly, but it's a free kick on the left-hand side to Cardiff. Taken short. And Levi Colwell again just turning it around the corner once the return pass fed inside instead as Salek drops off. Good foot in by O'Brien, but it drops loose, and now it's Colwell dribbling into the box. It lops loose, Salek helps it on. Great chance of Kabako, good save, Burton. Went to the, I beg your pardon, Kellyman it was, went to the near post and Burton stood up, strong hands, it's a corner.
Yeah, great save from Callum. Stays on his feet well, doesn't gamble and try and dive across himself. Gets two hands and it parries out for a corner.
But Wrexham under pressure once more.
Wrexham need to stay calm and patient. We're in possession now.
Lots of players mass beyond the far post. As the free kick is played short and pulled back in the end to Capaccio, feeds it back out wide once more. Kellyman with a great cross, Fish just beaten to it. That's a heck of a defensive header by Cleworth to put it behind for another corner. I thought Fish was going to get in the end of that then, 6 yards out.
Yeah, it's a really good run in, back in. You always fancy the attacker when the ball's coming in like that over the defender, but Cleworth does ever so well. Just make sure he gets ahead on that ball ahead of Will Fish.
Another corner from the left-hand side this time. In-swinger from Ashford again. Cardiff players massing on the blind side beyond the far post. They start to jog into the goalmouth now and block Burton off. And the ball is swung to the far post. Well, they've all come across. So Smith heads it away easily. Kabaccio just miscontrols, but he still works it wide. And it's a good return pass by Kellyman. Capaccio now up against Broadhead by the corner flag, right-hand side. It's all Cardiff, this. Ball fed in and then popped back into midfield, and a snappy first touch passing this. It works over to the left-hand side. Wrexham fans sound really concerned as the ball is again worked back out. Chance maybe for Bagan to have a pop. He gets to the edge of the D and then plays a great ball around the back. Ashford shoots. Fantastic save by Burton to somehow claw it out. It was heading for the roof of the net, but Burton far too busy as far as Wrexham are concerned.
Yeah, another great save by Callum. Gets his angles spot on. Sometimes they're the most difficult ones, the high ones in the near post. But yeah, again, stands his ground well. Great positioning. Great hand on it to get it over. Cardiff look far too comfortable in possession at the moment.
Absolutely, but that's not disrupting them at all. They're popping the ball around sweetly. Here's Ashford with the corner into a good area, and it'll bounce behind for the goal kick. He's into a decent spot, and Thomason just did enough to put off the on-rushing Fish.
Yeah, it's a great chance. I think it's Callum Chambers just going towards that back post. For a player of his standard, you almost expect him to get on the end of that ahead of his man. It's a really good ball in. But Wrexham just need to get a hold of this game. We've seen them last few weeks, and obviously over Phil Parkinson's tenure, they can go into games and not dominate possession. But what they need to dominate is that shape and their defensive duties at the moment. They're just letting Cardiff win all the battles.
From the restart, Chambers manhandles Smith, no foul given. The ball's partly cleared by Ashford. O'Brien wins it back high at the pitch. For once, Cardiff are in their defensive third as Rathbone driving forwards on the right finds Barnett, early cross, and it'll be a throw by the corner flag. Barnett wants a replacement ball quickly and is now looking for movement. 21st minute. Wrexham a goal down as Barnes is caught offside. Wrexham needs to do better than that when they get a chance to put some pressure on Cardiff. And the fact of the matter is, I mean, Burton's already made 3 saves, one of which was very good. The other 2 were absolutely out the top drawer. And this is not how you want to start a game, is it? No,
and we spoke a lot about it in the early weeks of our league season in the Championship, when we were letting off so many shots on our own goal, especially shots on target. And when you're doing that against Championship quality opposition. I know this Cardiff team is League One, but they've got some Championship level, if not above, players in that side. You're not going to get away with it.
Exactly, as now the ball's attacked well and brought down in his chest by Rathbone, scurrying forwards. Barnett is in support. Rathbone pops it back to Cleworth. This is better. Rathbone now 30 yards out, switches play to the left. The Wrexham fans like this. They want to be encouraged by their team. Thomason to O'Brien and then out on the left to Longman, who got on his right foot, whips it in nicely. Smith heads towards goal. Running away from goal is a difficult one. It goes wide, but Wrexham suddenly were very snappy on the ball then, weren't we?
It's good to see Wrexham playing a little bit more direct then, making people run forward. You see Ollie Rathbone carrying the ball 30 yards up the pitch. That little bit more directness. I mean, Callum Burton's goal kick a minute ago penned Cardiff into their left-back area. I think it's just the way that the game is settling down now. I think Wrexham need to utilise that and almost try and camp themselves into Cardiff's half and make them make a mistake.
As Trott knocks it long, Cleworth being backed into does well to beat Salek in the air. Here is Dobson. Cleworth clipping it left-footed nicely towards Smith, who battles at Chambers, does really well to get a tackle in, and Rathbone, who's getting involved in the game now, finds O'Brien. O'Brien back to Thomason. Wrexham just moving it around a lot quicker here, though. Broadhead, lovely little drag back, pulls him away from his man. And Wrexham suddenly starting to move the ball with pace and with purpose. Thomason looks to drill the ball forwards, but doesn't find O'Brien. He's stepped up a long way now to put pressure on and is penalised as Kellyman goes down, but a bit more fire about Wrexham.
Yeah, you just hope Thomason won't be too affected by conceding that goal, which came from that mistake, from giving the ball away. You still want him to be a ball-playing centre-back, of course you do.
Salek does really well, holding her up, finds Colwell, who changes direction, gets a free kick in a shooting position, just right of centre. It was Dobson, I think, who gave the foul away. It usually is Dobson who gives the free kicks away, isn't it?
I think that one was Rathbone, actually.
Oh, beg your pardon. Sorry, George.
But great hold-up play from Salek there, bringing everyone else into play in the Cardiff team.
Yeah, he did well. He just dragged to the right, held her up, pulls it back in. And now, well, it's a shooting position, isn't it? Bagan has come across. Just to register his interest.
That's a decoy.
Exactly, yeah. Exactly, register his interest, but not anything else. This one surely is going to be one for Colwell to take. Ruben Colwell standing on it, right foot is Wrexham a three-player wall. The crowd suddenly hushes. Ref gives the go-ahead. Colwell clips over the wall, hits the bar. Brilliant free kick that. It's nodded back in. Surely it's offside. It is. What a strike.
Great technique from Colwell there. It really did dip at the last minute. Callum's give it a full extension dive. I'm not sure how close he is to it, but yeah, great free kick. Great technique.
He did well to get that close, didn't he? He was really travelling, but what a free kick that was. Brilliant strike. Hit the face of the bar and bounced straight back out again. Goodness me. The Wrexham, just when we showed a bit of encouraging form and find ourselves under pressure as Wrexham want a foul, don't get it. The ball is fed forwards once more and it's Rathbone, then Dobson scrapping for it. Headed partly clear, well won by O'Brien. It will bounce through for Trott. But yeah, this is a real test now for Wrexham. As Trott feeding the ball out. Fish drives it forwards. Thomason touch tight, forces a poor touch from Kellyman. Under pressure, Cleworth keeps calm and draws the foul from Colwell.
Yeah, well played Max Cleworth there. Wasn't the best, the ball's back into him. But he uses that little bit of pace really well, gets his body in front.
I like this on Ask Wrexham from Chris Malika saying about Dobson's blocking. Comment from my husband, Dobbo's like a stuntman. He is, isn't he? He doesn't just block shots. He hurls himself out of a burning building's top window. As Dobson is beaten by a lovely piece of skill by Ruben Colwell, who rolls it in. Capaccio again can work it on the outside to Kellyman. He feeds it back inside once more. And Cardiff again of Wrexham defending quite deep. That's a good surge down the right. A robust challenge. The referee says it's okay from Longman, goal kick.
Further to that point about Dobson, an absolute goalkeeper's dream. When you see one of your players throwing their body in the way of anything, it's lovely to see.
Oh, absolutely. The problem is it's happened too much at the moment. And I felt the Middlesbrough game was a classic example, a real sort of masterclass on how to defend in the mid-block and keep Middlesbrough at arm's length. We've been forced too deep by Cardiff's passing. As Cleworth plays a peach of a switch, which is brought down out of the air beautifully by Longman. He then doubles back into midfield. Dobson takes over, pings the ball out wide. Now Longman, chance to run at Capaccio again. He goes back onto his right foot once more. O'Brien. Wrexham moving it quickly across the back. Cleworth now. But Cardiff are stepping up, trying to put pressure on. Barnett goes back to the centre circle. The crowd anxious. He had no real option on other than take a wild risk, and then Thomason overhits his pass badly out of play. That anxiety from the crowd doesn't help, but for Barnett's got no other option there, but it's sort of spreading to Thomason, who tries, like you said, Mark, to force it.
Yeah, I think that's also giving Cardiff the encouragement to go and press more. I think they can hear the anticipation in our fans that are almost jeering the Wrexham players for passing the ball backwards, which means Cardiff are pressing with more intensity.
From the restart, O'Brien does well to touch that on. It's launched high and deep into Wrexham's half by Windle, and Barnett is able to head the ball clear. The Cardiff have it again. The ball popped around on the halfway line. Chambers into Windle once more. 28 minutes played as Trott feeds it out to the edge of his area. Chambers back to Trott. Wrexham fans complaining nobody's going to the keeper to pressure him. He goes long, and Salek is on the run here. Cody gets across. Heavy touch, Barnett does well to get there, knocks it off his man, throw it to Wrexham. Deep in our half, right hand side. Cleworth will take it.
It's a real game of cat and mouse when you are pressing so high up the pitch. If one goes, you generally have to all go. If you see one person like Sam Smith then charging on his own, he gets very frustrated. He's burning out a lot of energy doing that on his own.
Ball knocked long. Smith blatantly pushing it back that time by Chambers. Free kick on the halfway line. He points an accusing finger at the ref, Gavin Ward, who just does the same straight back to him. And Wrexham now have it at the back. Cody to Cleworth. Ruben Colwell working hard on his own. Salek joins him now. Wrexham have got extra players at the back and they're able to move around. Longman steps in neatly, works into the centre circle. Broadhead's dropped off and he's done well. Helps it around the corner for Rathbone. Cleworth on the halfway line now. Rathbone, this is more like it from Wrexham. It's patience, it's fine. Just draw them out and then try and pass through the press. As Dobson again, nice progressive pass, and Cleworth looks to play the killer ball for Smith. It was a good run, but Chambers is able to intercept, and now Cardiff snappy passing on the edge of their area. Wrexham not quite able to get close enough in the press. Dobson though, tight on Colwell, forces an error, throwing the halfway line.
Yeah, but that perfectly backs up what Mark's just said. When they all go, it makes it so much harder for the opposite team to find one of their men. No gaps.
Broadhead again drops into a nice little position between the lines, and now it's O'Brien working it wide, just under hits the pass. Longman gets there, and he's got an overlap in Thomason. He carries on and launches a shot. It's off target, but the crowd are encouraged by that. It was a long way off target, but at least he's cutting in and trying to use that strong right foot to test the keeper.
It's been a lot more encouraging the last few minutes for Wrexham. Obviously playing more on the front foot, working together, not really letting that crowd affect them. That little bit of anxiousness that the fans have got. Obviously it is a derby, a Welsh derby, but Wrexham players need to stick to their game plan and do their own job.
Short goal kick, Trott drills it long. Lovely accurate distribution. Kellyman under pressure, good pressure from Thomason. Throw goes against Wrexham on the halfway line.
I'm just going to say that makes it so difficult as well for Wrexham to press. When you've got a goalkeeper of Trott's ability and distribution, Cardiff are leaving three players up high against the three centre-halves, and if he does need to take that option, they're very good at their hold-up play as well, so it just brings everything else into play.
Here is Trott again, feeding the ball square to Chambers. Wrexham have got 5 players committed into Cardiff's half as it's fed up towards the halfway line, and Cody tracking Salek forces him to play it backwards, but again Ruben Colwell is gliding through this game, feeds it over to the right hand side, helped on by Fish. Kellyman again just driving inside, helps it on nicely, danger here, Colwell dummies it, Bagan takes a touch, will he hit this? No one outside him, he comes back inside, it's crowded in the centre there, but they're moving it around the D, and then Wintle tries a curler which Burton is able to allow to go wide of the right hand post. But yes, again, Sharon and Ars Wrexham saying this lineup is missing something. And you get that when you rotate sometimes, but we've seen these rotated Wrexham sides just settle into these cup ties often and improve as the game's gone on. And we're starting to find something of our shape. As on the left-hand side, Ashford, who's very busy, again, holds her up, pulls it inside. And it's works into the centre circle. Wintle giving it back to Joel Colwell. Cardiff again, patience. O'Brien anticipates a ball backwards and races after Fish to put him under pressure. That's a trigger for Longman, who steps up to pressure Capaccio as well, and Cardiff hold on to possession well, but again the Wrexham fans encouraged to see some unity in that pressure they put on the ball. Joel Colwell popping it back into his own half. When you rotate as well, it's not just those relationships on the pitch, it's those pressing relationships and triggers, isn't it? To know when somebody's going that you should step in as well, as Cody heads out of play for a throw. Yeah,
and as well, Cardiff have rotated 2. I know 2 less. They've made 5 changes tonight, but you know, we can't pretend like they're playing the same side that they've been playing week in, week out. But they have started so much better, haven't they, than Wrexham tonight. But you can't exactly say it's unsurprising in the sense of how the game's panned out so far. We knew Cardiff were going to come here and try and play, and that's exactly what they have done.
Absolutely. And this side of Wrexham, well, you know, they've got the grit to dig in. They've got to stay in this game through this tough period now, as Kellyman tries a shot which goes wide via a deflection, corner on the left-hand side.
When there are this many rotations as well, you find that, especially for the start of the game, each player's playing for themselves almost. They're trying to find their own footing in the game. There isn't that togetherness yet, and I think it's just taken Wrexham a bit of time to find their fluidity in their play and the way they're pressing. They're almost pressing in individuals or playing the ball for themselves, and then there's just not much support together. But I think they're really starting to find their feet now.
In swinger then, left-hand side, dangerous one, but headed firmly away by Smith. Driven back in by Capaccio, and it was going just wide, I think. Rathbone blocked it anyway and then played it clear. Bagan works it wide to the left-hand side. Ashford now. As, again, Rathbone snapping away at him, forces the backwards pass. And it's Capaccio now on the halfway line. Wrexham have stepped out into mid-block, and O'Brien gets a good foot in, but Capaccio's got the pace to recover and get the ball back to Trott. Smith looks to put him under pressure. Trott hangs the ball out for Bagan, who wins it well in the air. He's got the build of a centre-back, Bagan. Ashford's done well to hold it up. Barnett running across the pitch with him. The ball spread to the right-hand side. Kellyman again, nice overlapping pass to Capaccio. Hits the corner flag. Pulls it back, level the edge area. Kelvin can deliver this if he wants to. But again, Cardiff will just look to probe. He plays it back. Cross from Fish is a good one. Good header to put it behind for the corner as it was played in behind Wrexham's defence. And Barney's covering his centre-backs. He got there.
Yeah, I think that's a tactic that Wrexham are deliberately employing. Max has stayed with the bigger striker, and Barnett's obviously run underneath with the winger.
So corner on the right-hand side. Another in-swinger. Kellyman this time. Again, the familiar, fashionable positioning of Cardiff's players beyond the far post. And this time they are again converging around Burton. It's swept into the far post. Good header to put it behind for another corner. Again by Barnes, who's certainly earning his keep defensively. It's a bit of a whack on the back of his head as he did that. jumping with Wintle. So Ashford will come across, take another corner. 37th minute already. It'll be an in-swinger once more from Ashford. This time Cardiff don't put position players beyond the far post. Crowd of players on the penalty spot. Ref decides to intervene. Fair play to Barnett, who I remember when he first came to us, he looked like a winger playing as a wing back. And you look at him now in his defending, I feel he's really stepped up quite a lot in that regard of his game.
Yeah, I'm so used to him headering balls on the back stick, defending that back post. He's brilliant at that.
Ball swept in under the bar nicely. Burton gets a good punch to that. He had to cover a bit of ground to get to it. Began intelligently heads it back out to Ashford, level the edge of the area. He goes round the outside of Rathbone, gets a good foot in. Good tackle by Rathbone. Ashford will go again. Pulls it back in midfield. Ruben Colwell pulling it back again. Began as the point of the attack shifts. Capaccio quickly over to Kellyman on the right. Little fumble by him. As Cardiff have to try again. Kellyman turns O'Brien beautifully, surges down the right. Brilliant skill, beats another man. Finds Capaccio in the box. Pull back for Kellyman. O'Brien with a great tackle. Ruben Colwell spreads it. Ashford in space across the face. Defender gets ahead to it and it ricochets off Capaccio and is taken by Burton. Wrexham fans impatient, but I mean Burton's got no one to kick it to. Referee is counting him down now and he bowls a good throw out to Dobson. Wow, that was chaos in Wrexham's penalty area though.
Cardiff are moving the ball so fast. It's just hard for the Wrexham team to keep up with. Kellerman with a great bit of play down the wing, and then they managed to switch the play with 3 or 4 passes. It's very sharp play from Cardiff, and then they managed to get a cross in. And yeah, it's a bit of carnage in the Wrexham box at the moment. They need to stay disciplined, stick with it.
Absolutely, stick with it is exactly the phrase. As he is brought in again, that's a nice pass and it's received well as it always is, seems to be him. Barnett back to the halfway line. This is better. Cardiff forced into their mid-block. But Wrexham, I mean, I don't want to be negative, but if we're 1 down at half-time and we dig in like from this situation, I'll take it as O'Brien is caught offside. The fans in the Macron stand aren't happy. But yeah, just dig deep and don't let in another, I feel. Obviously, if we can score, fantastic, but we can't afford to let another one in.
It's a cup game. These are going to be like that. They're going to be nervy, they're going to be edgy, there's going to be a bit of... They're intense, especially with a rivalry on top of that. I think that Wrexham just need to get to the halfway time and just regroup almost.
Free kick, which Trott will take. He launches it long, and that's a hell of an interception by Cody as Salek ran in behind him. Brilliant foot in. Longman, that's a good ball around the corner. Smith is nudged in the back, no foul given. Broadhead with a lovely first time pass to O'Brien. Now he's got options either side. He surges forwards himself. And he plays a poor pass. Rathbone was waiting for it. The back pass allows Trott to launch a massive kick. Salek does well to get in front of Cody, who manhandles him. And it takes Thomason to win it, and Thomason's hurt. He fell awkwardly, won the header, landed immediately his hand up in the air to signal he'd hurt himself, and the ref has swiftly come across. But wow, I mean, what a shame that O'Brien couldn't find the pass when there was stuff happening all around him, wasn't there?
I think the fans have been buoyed by the sight of Stephen Fletcher walking around for commentary.
So there's a thought.
Do you reckon he's got his boots with him?
Well, we got Kiefer on the bench anyway, so and he did a similar job at Preston in this cup. Second round, came on, scored.
Yeah, I was there that night with the away fans, actually sat with the fans, and yeah, the fans could really sense something coming, and obviously Kiefer challenging the goalkeeper. It was great for him to get that goal at that time.
It was, yeah, a real great decisive moment by Moore, which added to that great start he had with us. And yeah, he's a potent weapon. There's lots of potent weapons on the bench for Wrexham.
That's what's so great about the Wrexham squad at the moment, is the options that they do have on the bench and in the squad. I mean, there's some players not on that bench tonight that could be a real force for this team.
Absolutely, as Thomason is okay, and he wins a throw-in. About 10 yards short of the halfway line, left-hand side. Taken given back to him, and he feeds a good long ball. Smith does well, taking it on the chest. Again, good balance by Broadhead. He seems to have his shirt pulled. That's good. O'Brien pops it back into his own half. Now then, Barnett on the halfway line. Right-hand side. Closed down. Feeds it back. Wrexham drawing the Cardiff press. Cody goes to Burton, who is adroit with the balls, his feet, of course. He goes long. Smith up against Chambers. Chambers is a little fortunate. It drops at his feet. Fed forwards to Joe Gowell, for once miscontrols it. Smith, good battling to create a loose ball, which Broadhead snaps onto. Feeds it wide, looking for Longman, but it just took a nick off a Cardiff player, and it's intercepted. Wrexham moving it back, mind. Longman does well. Nice ball to Rathbone. He keeps it moving. Barnett receives on the right-hand side. Now Cleworth inside him. Barnett wants to go at his man. Feeds it inside for Rathbone. Cleworth in the support, 25 yards out. First time ball inside. Dobson dart at the edge of the area. His pass is behind Broadhead, though. Dobson wins it back, though. Cleworth on the halfway line. 3 minutes of the half left. Dobson, nice touch. Works it on to Rathbone. This is better. Barnett really only has Smith ahead of him as Cleworth feeds it back into the Wrexham half. Just a bit of progressive possession is good from Wrexham as a step forwards. Longman back to the halfway line.
Yeah, I think a few times when we've got into that final third and we've looked to make that incisive pass, it's maybe just been in the wrong area to the wrong man. Just been a bit of too many blue shirts when we've tried to find that ball in. But this is so much better from Wrexham.
Absolutely, good surge by Cleworth, and he holds on to the ball well. Wrexham switch it then from right to left. Thomason to Longman, who again comes inside and his right foot, poor pass forwards. But O'Brien will thereafter get there, chip it into the goal mouth. Smith is beaten to it in the air, and it's hacked away before Rathbone can pounce around the penalty spot. Capaccio now feeds it forwards. Salek under pressure, good pressure, but Kellyman whips it early over the top. Cody controls his header forwards, feels a bit more like a cup tie now. Wrexham just starting to get a bit of pace into their play, but Thomason can't keep it in, and the referee stops play because there's a Wrexham player down. Trying to see, is that O'Brien? No, yeah, O'Brien? I think isn't it?
I think it is, but just going back to that Wrexham attack, the difference is when Wrexham are going forward and Cardiff get a nick or win that first ball into the box or make a tackle, the gap between our defence and then the ones that have pushed on is huge compared to Cardiff's when they come up the other end. And it just means any second balls that are coming straight back out, Cardiff are latching onto them so much quicker and then can counter us on that counter if you like. Wrexham just need to maybe make it a little bit tighter in there.
Throw-in taken, and Cardiff win another about 25 yards out. O'Brien was limping heavily after going down, but seemed to run it off, hopefully. Cardiff restarted the ball on the right-hand side. Joel Colwell forced back by some good energy by Longman. Eventually he goes a bit too far and pushes him over. Free kick about 35 yards out on the right. We're 30 seconds away from finding out how much time will be added on. There have been a couple of stoppages. Cardiff with the chance, if they choose, to put the ball into the box. Wrexham hold the line on the edge of the area. Again, Kellyman's on it, left-footed. It's the referee giving the go-ahead. It's mishit. And as a result, Barnett chases that, gets his head to it, can't quite keep it in. Two added minutes?
Yeah, well, I was just going to say, to that point, Cardiff's set pieces have been really good tonight, really dangerous, always put it in the right area. And then Kellyman goes and does that.
It was a funny contact, wasn't it? I don't know quite what happened to him. But anyway, Cardiff have it with Trott at the back. Left-footed, clips it long. And Colwell leans into Cleworth, who has good strength, pushes him out the way. Rathbone now back to Thomason. Longman again has got off the pitch early to stretch play. Wrexham move around the back, draw Cardiff out. 5 players committed in the Wrexham half, and Barnett lifts over the top. Chambers heads it into midfield, well attacked by Rathbone, catches his man, no foul given. Smith driving at the last defender, hits the shot just wide. I've got to say, it really looked like a foul by Rathbone to me, but having not been given, Smith was comfortably the closest Wrexham have come in this half.
Yeah, well, cliche, but play to the whistle. Wrexham, massive chance. Just drawing towards the end of this first half. Sam Smith has done really well, I think, so far in this first half. Looks really bright, looks really eager to always be direct. It's a half chance for him, that's for sure. Fancy him to always hit the target. Just drags it a little bit. Trott's got it covered.
Yeah, just wide of the right post. But yeah, I mean, he's not had enough to work with, but he's really fought with those centre-backs. As Cleworth is knocked to the ground, doesn't get the free kick. I can't help thinking the referee not giving that free kick when Rathbone challenged Wintle might have influenced in not giving Cleworth that, because that looked like a foul as well. 10 seconds of the added 2 minutes left. Bacon with the ball in his hands. Throw down the line. And it's a good header clear by Barnett as he's being held. Prodded forwards by Rathbone, but he doesn't find Smith, and that is half-time. Listen to the reception of the Wrexham fans there. Really not happy with that. And I can get that, if I'm honest. It's only 1-0. I'm, in a way, quite glad it's only 1-0, because it could easily have been more. But as it is, we still have a real foothold in this match. I've got to ask, I don't usually think this way, Mia, but I'm going to ask the question. Do we do a Middlesbrough and make changes at half-time now? Or does Parkinson do what he often does very well and really reiterate to his team what that game plan was? We often seem to come out at the start of a second half sharper, having had him reassert those qualities that he wants to see from them.
Yeah, this is a real test now for Phil Parkinson. Does he back his boys that he's put out there to start with? I think if you're going to change something, for me, it'll probably be in that midfield, or maybe give Thomason a rest, because he hasn't looked quite right in that back three, especially on the ball, which is very surprising given, you know, he's obviously a preferred midfielder. But it's one of those, when you get that one wrong that leads to the goal, you do lose that bit of confidence, and that's so important as a footballer in these big games. You want to get your first, your second pass off, and what that gives you is massive. But yeah, it's not been great, has it, from Wrexham? From a Wrexham point of view, they'll be really disappointed. I think Cardiff might be the more disappointed that they're only going in 1-0 up, to be honest, because they've had some real good chances. But equally, Wrexham probably 2 in that game, in that first half, sorry. That Sam Smith one late on that he just drags wide. And I saw a few replays of that Broadhead one. I think that's a much better chance than he makes of it. I think he really, maybe, has it come a bit too early? I don't know. I wouldn't like to make excuses like that for a player of his quality. You'd sort of expect him to, like the Sam Smith one, maybe hit the target, especially from closer in. But yeah, there'll definitely be a lot of messages going across to that Wrexham side from Phil Parkinson and his staff at half-time. I think one of the main ones being, you just need to battle a bit more. I've seen Sam Smith doing it from the front, but I think the likes of Lewis O'Brien, Ollie Rathbone, we haven't seen anywhere near enough of them, not just on the ball, but in terms of hassling and really getting in the faces of those Cardiff players.
Yeah, that's the sort of quality you expect to see from them, isn't it? And seeing them both on the same pitch, you feel encouraged by that, but you feel like Rathbone maybe he's going to have about an hour in him and hasn't quite had the influence he normally has on the game. O'Brien's just, I don't know, for me, not being quite as, how can I put this, secure on the ball as normal. Normally his progressive passing's accurate, but it's not quite been there for me. And yeah, there's something in midfield. Dobson, to be fair to him, has been Dobson. This season's Dobson, just winning everything and using the ball intelligently. And when we were under the cosh, he was our outstanding player.
Absolutely, but I think at times he's had far too much to do in that middle of the park, you know, from left to right, and obviously his central role, which he's been given tonight. But it's so important when we're playing teams like Cardiff, who we often are in terms of the Championship now, in terms of this really strong in possession side, very good on the ball. It's very rare they'll give up silly opportunities from a poor pass or whatever. But it's so important when they do that, or you win the ball back in from the tackle, that first pass has got to be right. And so often we're so reliant on the likes of that midfield three, in terms of O'Brien and Rathbone in particular, maybe, that they get that pass right and they make the right decision. I think that's maybe been one of the biggest differences in that first half, that we just haven't been that little bit sharper than Cardiff in terms of getting that first ball off and making the correct decision.
It's I mean, I feel like I'm sounding a bit negative, and we are losing at home, but it's only 1-0. We are in this tie. As Mark said, it's a cup tie. You dig in, you stay in it, you make something happen. And, well, let's see. And we've got such a lot on the bench to try and make a difference. And we need to try to do so. Dan D is watching the game on a flight from San Francisco to Calgary and is able to tune into the broadcast. I think it's the actual video broadcast through in-flight Wi-Fi. So, and he's hoping that the Paramount Plus commentary will switch to us at half-time as it did on Saturday in what I can only describe as one of the great moments in broadcasting history. What can I say? Ben Parker asks, why do we have Thomason at the back when Scar did so well recently? I mean, it's all about managing minutes, isn't it? And I think you can clearly, you look at that bench and you get a strong sense of where we're going to, what's going to start against Coventry. And as well, I mean, I think it's fair to say, Mia, that when a team is rotated in a competition and they get you this far, I think the manager feels there's a necessity to reward that. Burton, for example, would feel hard done by if he was not given a game today. He certainly covered himself in glory. There's no question with that. But I mean, you've got to remember that you're handling people as well as players, and you need to reward players who have done well for you. Absolutely, and listen, I think it's one of them. If Lewis Brunt doesn't get injured on Saturday, I think we most definitely see Dan Scarr in that back three tonight. But the Thomason one was a little bit of a surprise. I'm pretty sure he has played there a few times, maybe not necessarily on the left, but certainly in a back three in his time at Bolton. I was sort of maybe expecting to see maybe someone like Kakache, obviously with that left foot. He's another one who has played in that left sided position. We've obviously seen already how strong he is defensively when he's played left wing back with a Wrexham shirt on. But again, is that something that he'll look to change at half time? I'm not too sure. It doesn't, looking at the substitutes on the pitch in front of me, there's no one exactly going through any rigorous warm-ups, which you normally see if they are going to make the change. That could obviously change over the next few minutes. We'll have to just wait and see. But yeah, it's an interesting one. I think, I totally agree with you, Mark. I think when a team does well in the cup competition, you've got to reward that and support them. Obviously, a few of the ones that have done that, the likes of Elliot Lee, Harry Ashfield, have picked up knocks, so that changes things as well. Obviously, the actual starting 11 that we've seen in the league over the last few weeks has dramatically changed. Maybe you could argue from what it was, in the sort of September weeks, with obviously Connor Cody dropping out, O'Brien dropping out last few weeks. Obviously, Ollie Rathbone only just coming back into the squad. But that shows the strength that we have now in this squad. That we've got the quality that a few weeks ago we were saying, oh well, they won't be playing in the sort of League Cup, and now they are, and they can't get into that league starting 11. And as well, it should be pointed out that Scar really, in a back three, is the central one of those three, I would say. You do want somebody, when you play the way we play, the wide centre-backs need to be players who are comfortable on the ball in terms of progressive passing and carrying the ball out. Scar's all right, and he saw last season, he's not a bad passer of the ball, but for me, doesn't quite have that profile of the wide centre-back. And if you're going to pick Cody, you probably aren't going to put Scar in there as well in this configuration. So you do need to find something slightly different, don't you? Yeah, and I think we've seen that over this season so far in terms of keeping players happy. If you pick out someone like Dan Scar and Connor Cody, even if you look at the bench over this season so far, he's rotated even the ones who's taken that place on the bench. And that's something neither of them boys will want. They'll definitely want to be in that starting 11. But just talking about that sort of ball playing centre back, I think that's absolutely the case. Dan Scar we very much prefer to see in the middle. That's why you saw obviously on Saturday Dom Hyam go out to the left hand side, because he is just better on the ball than someone like Dan Scar, particularly on that side. I think back to when obviously we had someone like Owen O'Connell in the team. He was so good on the ball, but more necessarily in that centre of the back three. You couldn't really rely on him to do it on the other side, on the right, and step in, because he just wasn't necessarily made for that, bar obviously the Notts County game here when he did do it very successfully.
but that's not his sort of play. I think also you look at that back line, something tonight, maybe if you threw Dan Scarr in alongside Connor Cody, you miss a little bit of pace in there as well, and I think that's something we do lack at the back, and that's something that needs maybe addressing going forward. But as well, we do have a lot of quality there still, but at the moment we are just tarnished a little bit by obviously the Doyle suspension and the Lewis Brunt injury.
And let's not forget Aaron James as well.
Of course,
I think really would have come into consideration today. He would fit that profile quite nicely, and it's such a shame he's picked up an injury. He's still young enough to not have to be registered, and he's a player with proper ability and potential who, had we not been getting promoted so swiftly, I suspect would be doing a Clwyth now. Not that I'm regretting us getting promoted, don't get me wrong, but certainly he would have come into play. Ben Parker says that dressing room half-time speech should be an epic one. I know we're missing key players, but changes need to be made. But then sometimes those changes are just getting in amongst that team to say, we should be 10 yards higher at the pitch. We shouldn't be allowing them to pen us in like this. Because, like I say, having given that object lesson in the mid-block on Saturday, we've been in our penalty area with them knocking little triangles and opening players up around the outside of us far too easily. The Ashford and Capaccio in particular getting us in wonderful positions on either side. Parkinson, make no mistake, won't have wanted to see that happening.
Yeah, and I think, the other thing in terms of making changes, and listen, he still may do that. I'd be surprised if they were to come at half-time, but, there's not the players out there in that first half. They're all fully experienced. They're not, massively young lads who haven't played in a game like this before. Let's not get it twisted. They absolutely are. They'll know, how to combat it. They might just need a few different messages at half-time. And I'd be very surprised if they don't come out in the second half, absolutely raring to go, especially when you look at the likes of ones like Ollie Rathbone and Lewis O'Brien, because they thrive in those sort of situations, and that's why I was a little bit surprised to maybe not see them at their best. But then, rotation does that. It's difficult to just come straight in, especially in big games like this. And again, you've got to give Cardiff a lot of credit, because they did play very well in that first half, and I do think maybe we've got away with a few in terms of only coming in 1-0 down.
I'm not very good at reading the signs in these sort of situations, but Josh Windass just took his coat off and ran across the other gap before coming out with the ball again. I'm not sure that means anything, actually.
Yeah, but
maybe try to drop a hint.
I know, I'm trying to guess. Does it, the ones that are wearing their shorts rather than the leggings, does that mean anything? I don't know.
Yeah, no,
I'm not one to sort of guess this sort of thing. It's currently James McLean. Who is that down there?
Is that Hyam down here?
Dom Hyam, that's absolutely correct. And Windass, who are all in the shorts and look like they're ready sort of to go, but we shall have to wait and see. I think is it one of them where you say, right, I give it 10-15, and if nothing changes, that's when I ring the changes. That's what we sort of normally see, isn't it, from Phil Parkinson? But it's one of those nights where maybe you do it early.
Yeah, absolutely. Steve Parkins come out now and is having a chat. I don't know. I mean, for me, I don't think there's much issue with Broadhead and Smith at the moment, unless you're looking to manage minutes of Broadhead, say. He missed that decent chance, didn't he? But having said that, he's drifted around, taken up some quite nice positions, and has often been the wellspring of our breakaways. And Smith, as you say, he's been battling away well, hasn't he? So I'm thinking of Windass. Hello. Somebody is getting called over from the bench, actually. And the players trotting over are Moore
and Windass.
Okay. So like I said, no need to change Smith and Broadhead.
Yeah, let's just wait and see what happens here. Just trying to keep an eye out if there's a fourth official, if anything gets handed to them as well. But yeah, it's an interesting one in terms of what department do you change if he is going to make that early change. Because I agree with you, I don't think Smith and Broadhead really could have done much more. There hasn't been too much interplay between the two, which maybe Parkinson won't be too happy with, but they haven't had much to feed off, really, have they? So it's really difficult to ask them to do that when we've hardly had any of the ball. I think maybe too often we've looked for that ball over the top into Smith, which obviously we so often do to someone like Kiefer Moore, and listen, I think Sam Smith can absolutely do that at times. He has done that in this game in terms of his hold-up play, but I think maybe we've done it too many times and not looked to maybe get him in behind with that sort of ball that cuts through the lines.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see exactly what we do, but yeah, I don't think I've done much wrong. I mean, Broadhead, for me, is not a player that takes games by the scruff of the neck. He's a player who will pick up intelligent positions, and if you're able to find him, he'll punish opponents. And he's shown a lot of signs of doing that and has got himself in that great position. Admittedly, he snatched his finish, but he got in there. Jarvis saying what I was trying to articulate at the end of the half and didn't get right. So thank you, Jarvis, on Arse Wrexham, saying the only good thing is they haven't put us away despite all their chances. I'd agree with that. We've got to half-time 1 down. Elizabeth Wood backing it up, replying, saying, well done, Burton. Yeah, and we're backing it. And there we are. Josh Windass is out and stripped off. So he's definitely coming on at half-time as out come Cardiff. We haven't seen more yet. But he certainly came sprinting across with Windass, which suggests he's going to be coming on half-time as well. But not so long ago, of course, he was playing for Cardiff. So, how will we change this around? Here come Wrexham. And I'm just looking for something out. Moore is there. Hasn't got a shirt on yet.
And Matty James.
Say again?
And
Matty James, yeah.
Too, so I think it's going to be 3.
So he doesn't even, he didn't even warm up to do that. So triple change. Can't see either of those strikers. So it looks like Smith and Broadhead have been sacrificed. Like I said, I don't think they did anything wrong. I don't see Rathbone out there either, which is understandable. You've got 45 minutes out of him. Didn't quite look his usual self. And okay, we brought on 3 players who've been playing well lately. So here's the confirmation. Broadhead is off. But yeah, we can see that anyway. Broadhead, Smith and Rathbone off, and on come James, Moore and Windass. Ah well, Phil Parkinson has not hung around. I can't help thinking in a way, I mean, don't get me wrong, he has to make the changes that he feels can influence the game. In a way, it's not that much of a comment on Smith and Broadhead as much as the fact we haven't given them enough, as Moore gets a not particularly friendly welcome from Cardiff's fans. And Cardiff making a change as well. And it's going to be Isaac Davis coming on.
Yeah, for Kellyman.
Yeah, for Kellyman.
To be fair, looked very bright.
Yeah.
One of the many of the Cardiff players in that first half, but chance for the Welshman, Isaac Davis.
Yeah, the nice overlaps that they were having on the flanks, and overloads rather, were very effective. He's on the right now instead of Kellyman as Cardiff free start going long. Wrexham kicking towards the Kop end. Longman put under pressure, is dispossessed, and Davis really quick to get across and nip the ball from him, and a quick change of feet as well by the corner flag. Capaccio now pulls it back for Fish, who can load it into the box and does so, whipping it into the far post, cleared by Barnes, but it'll come back in once more. And Joe Colwell holds off his man, feeds it over to the right hand side. Davis once more, he looks really snappy, feeding it in. Cross from Wintle is overhit, and Burton will let that go behind for the goal kick. Well, not the fast start we wanted particularly, was it?
No, but I think just touching on the substitutions again, I think the atmosphere was another sort of point that we made in that first half. It was quite negative at times, and it's one of them, you don't want it to be tough like that for the first 10-15 if things don't go well. So making the changes early gets people going again, doesn't it? Especially seeing the likes of Windass, Kiefer Moore.
Long ball forwards, Moore's first touch, flicking it inside, and the ball fall for Windass. He's got opportunity to find Barnett. It's long range shot deflected, and it was a quick reaction by Trott, who made that look easier than it was, I think, when it span up and threatened to go over him.
Yeah, they can easily embarrass you, those, as a goalkeeper. They can spin up, loop you without you even knowing about it.
Now it's Longman having to, Thomason having to defend and hooking it away well under pressure. Throw-in. Davis looks very quick down the right-hand side, doesn't he? He's really looking to get at the defenders.
Do you think Wrexham will go a little bit more direct this half then?
I think it makes sense, doesn't it, really? And Moore can make that ball stick. And it's not a box, it's Windass is playing up alongside him, so he'll have support. Throw it. Touched on by Salek, and it'll go through to Burton. I think they've got to get some form of urgency into their play, haven't they? As Burton, right-footed, looks for Moore. The ball goes high. Moore does really well to drop back and win the header. And now it's Cole under pressure, feeding it backwards. Bagan, that's a nice little pass up to the halfway line. Ashford under good pressure from Dobson. He's done well to hold on to it, but he's been forced back 20 yards. And it ends up going back to Trott. Windass putting him under pressure. Wrexham stepping up and pressing in the Cardiff half. And Dobson gets close again to Trott, but Trott stays calm. Wrexham with an aggressive press. Cardiff play through it well. And now can they strike as they switch it across the pitch? Longman can't quite get his bearings as the ball lifts over him, and Capacchio's breaking down the right. Cardiff have done this well until an underhit pass. Thomason under pressure, battles away and does well in the end to avoid conceding a corner. Throw to Cardiff, level the edge of the Wrexham area. Throw taken short, and Thomason knocks Davis to the ground. No foul given. The clearance intercepted by Wintle, and knocks it off Matty James. Throwing 30 yards out to Cardiff.
Really good play from Cardiff, by the way. Drawing them in defensively. The goalkeeper taking his time to play the ball out to his centre halves, and then they've drawn Wrexham out of their positions, then hit a diag and counter-attack that. It's really good play from Cardiff.
Good pressure by Moore, wins the ball back. James, nice little pass, hits the referee. He stops play. Moore is complaining because he did get the ball and was carrying on, but to be fair, there was only one player keeping up with him, and I think the ref's right to stop play and give the ball back to Wrexham. Ask Wrexham is currently the 6th biggest trend on Blue Sky in the world. We are 2 places behind Halloween. Come on, everyone, let's show those trick-and-treating bums. As Moore wins another header. Dobson feeding it on. Windass keeps the ball moving on the right. Barnett high up the pitch. We saw him so deep often, didn't we? But here the wing backs are high up as Wrexham are trying to move it around. Oh, Windass trips over the ball and stays down for the moment as Cardiff break forwards. Windass is still down. Ball spread for Davis. The ball forces him a bit wide. Crosses it back in dangerously though. And it's laid back. Chance for Wintle to hit it and puts it over the bar. And Windass, well, it's always worrying when a player goes down for no apparent reason. I don't know, is he just feeling his right foot, is it?
It looks like the top of his right foot. He doesn't look comfortable in that at all.
Well, he's going to carry on. But that was, yeah. He stubbed his foot into the ground or something. I'm not sure. There doesn't seem to be a player making a challenge on him. It's a replay of it here now. And yeah, his right foot just sort of collapses under him. Let's hope he can walk that off as Cody holding on to Salek. Sort of gets away with it as Salek nearly turned him. Burton has to get the ball away. Windass can't get to challenge that. And the ball was carrying through. Cody decides in the end to get rid of it. Puts it out for the throw-in. He apologises to Burton. Not sure I've had enough on it though, really. I think if in doubt, stick it in the crowd. They can't score from there.
Yeah, 100%. If the defender's favourite to win the ball, he's got to clear it. You can't wait for the goalkeeper to come out there.
Throw-in to Cardiff.
Sometimes if a defender just takes charge of that situation and clears the ball early, it gives Wrexham time to get up. It stops the frustration creeping in. But by making it a bit of a hoorah about was it my fault or your fault, it actually creates a bit of tension. The fans feel that too.
Wrexham win it back from the throw, clipped forwards. Moore takes it really well in the assess, helps on intelligently. O'Brien over the top down the right, but it's intercepted by Chambers as Windass pursues. And it goes back to the keeper, Trott. Cardiff again moving it around at the back. O'Brien chasing the back pass. Wrexham again looking to press, but not quite getting close enough, although Cody reads that well as it's played forwards. Now then, Wrexham, can they tame it? Cody, that's nice. Little ball around the corner. Longman punches it back to Cleworth. Wrexham looking to be decisive on the ball. James, intelligent, finds Barnett. Chance for him to drive at his man. He's got 2 to beat though. Ashford's got back well. The Wrexham just showing a bit more fire, a bit more directness. Barnett switches nicely. Thomason now helps it onto Longman. O'Brien's made a run ahead of him. Longman goes around the outside and delivers. Defender gets a touch. Moore! Keeper Moore equalises! Longman for the first time trusts his left foot, puts it in. It takes a deflection off a defender and sets up beautifully for Moore. And 6 yards out, he makes no mistake, plants it past Trott. And there you go. We dug in, just as you said, Mark, stayed in the game, and now we're level.
Yeah, it's great build-up play from Wrexham. Just having that little bit of calmness and more decisiveness in the way they're passing the ball with more intent. You've seen the way they're passing it out from the back, try and get the ball wide, and if it's not on, Ryan Barnett brings the ball out, switches the play. A great effort from Longley to get the ball in. I think it takes a slight nick off the defender, and Kiefer Moore attacks it brilliantly.
Well, he had a huge chance on Saturday, didn't he, at Middlesbrough. Makes no mistake with this one. It's a definite nick, like you said. But it doesn't matter, Wrexham don't care. Kiefer Moore just says, who is it? Callum Chambers in there. Just move, this is mine. Super sub.
His arrival in the 6-yard box is great, isn't it? Because Chambers is underneath it. As Barnett does well to help it on. Dobson is fouled from behind on the halfway line. Barnett has stayed down.
So much better from Wrexham though. Just going back to that goal. We win back possession. It starts with Conor Cody at the back. Just getting ahead of his man Selleck, who so far in this game has probably been winning that battle. But this time Conor Cody gets in front of him. And from there, Wrexham just keep the ball really well, move it from side to side. It's brilliant direct play from Longman. I know it takes a nick, but he wants to get it in there. Now Kiefer Moore is in that box.
It's the intent, it's making Cardiff defend. I know it takes a nick off the defender, but you're actually forcing Cardiff to defend their own box, and that's the difference.
In recent games, I think Longman's got a little predictable on the left, coming on his right. Great to see him on his left as Moore gets up for the free kick. Can't get a proper contact, but Capaccio has the hook, it clears, a good ball. And now Davis, from deep in his own half, accelerates forwards. His pass though intercepted by Cleworth, who does well to keep calm, cushion it to O'Brien. Wrexham pinging it around again at the back. That's good. Thomason gets his head up, feeds it to Windass. Good move by him. Lovely ball around the corner. And now Wrexham bypass Cardiff's press. Good ball by O'Brien. Longman taking on his man again. Hits the curler and puts it just wide. It was a curling shot, but Moore wasn't that far off it, reaching it at the far post. And this game suddenly feels different.
Yeah, Wrexham controlling the tempo of the play now, which is stretching the Cardiff team. They're pressing in odds and ends, and that's what's forcing the mistakes from them, drawing them out of their positions. And then Wrexham are really capitalising on it.
And Longman there, well, he's now got the full back guessing. He's gone round the outside and set up a goal. Now he's come inside and got off a shot. And like I said, sometimes he can be a bit predictable. Gets 25 yards out, comes square on his right foot and starts linking up. He's just got a shot and a cross off, and we've benefited to the tune of a goal. And all of a sudden Capaccio, who's been having a great time charging into Wrexham's half, is racing back to cover as Wrexham win it back through Matty James, who has made a big impact. No, Dobson though makes a mistake. Colwell feeds it wide. Chance for Ashford, who sets himself, gets in the box, drills a great save again by Burton. Low to his right, strong wrist. It's drilled behind by Cleworth for the corner, and Burton again coming up trumps.
Yeah, really good save. Well done, Callum Burton. Just comes to that mistake though, doesn't it? In the middle of the park by George Dobson. Doesn't need to do it. A little chop. Cardiff man reads it really well.
Yeah, a little error in judgment there from George Dobson. He's tried to keep the striker guessing who's double bluffed him.
Ball swept into the near post, headed away firmly by Dobson. It comes back into the Wrexham box. Moore is there to clear, and Windass lays it down. The ball's cleared, and Capaccio miscontrols, and he's in trouble here. Longman pulled down, and Capaccio will get a yellow for that. The crowd wants a res, saying he's a last defender. It's a yellow, and I think he's got to give a yellow there, hasn't he, really, because defenders are getting back quicker than Wrexham are getting forwards. It's on the halfway line, but he had to grab him then. If he'd left her another couple of yards, the ref might well have given the red.
Yeah, or Longman might have got a pass off. I think there's a runner through the middle that you never know if he plays the right pass. Wrexham are through in on goal.
Absolutely, yeah. I didn't notice a player inside.
Yeah, I think it's O'Brien that makes that run through the middle. If he could just get that pass off, you just don't quite. You never know.
Wow, Wrexham, it's a totally different game, and credit to Parkinson and his team for it. Ball lifted into the box, it's too long for Moore. Longman gets up, nods it down. Davis intercepts, tries to bring it away. O'Brien's done well, not just to tackle him, but to find Longman. Wrexham suddenly looking confident with the ball in tight areas of the pitch. Shifting it across from left to right. Cody to Cleworth. Cardiff players coming. Cody very calm, just slots it between two of them. And all of a sudden it's Cardiff who, when they try and press, are just arriving a step too late, like Wrexham were in the first half, and Wrexham bypassing them really well.
It's great two-touch football from Wrexham. That's the difference. They're not taking time on the ball. It's control, pass, control, pass.
Great movement, and O'Brien flips a lovely ball to Longman. Unlucky, just catches his hip, but he keeps possession well. Longman's really burst into life in the second half. Nice ball is it by Cody. Windass manages to help it on. Moore, under real pressure from two men, is wrestled to the ground. And I think the referee, well, I mean, I know, Joel Colwell's pushing his luck there. In fact, has he hurt Moore? Yeah, physio's called straight on. A bit reminiscent. Remember that Champions League final when Sergio Ramos grabbed Salah and dislocated his shoulder, pulling him to the ground? I'm not saying that's happened to Moore.
This does look like a shoulder injury.
Why is that not a booking when it's a clearly no attempt to play the ball, and he's just grabbed hold of him and landed on his shoulder? I mean, that could be really nasty.
Yeah, sitting up, but it doesn't look good, does it? But just going back to the game in general, it's amazing, isn't it, how things can just flip on their head in terms of that momentum shift. And part of it, you've got to give credit again to Phil Parkinson being bold in making those changes at half-time. As soon as these fans see the likes of Windass, Moore, all coming on, Matty James even, with how he's been playing in the last few weeks, it gives them a lift, and how they responded so well.
Going back to the point I made, they're moving the ball better. They're so much more controlled in possession, but they're moving it faster. They're not dillying on the ball, they're getting it under control, finding a pass.
It's that confidence though, isn't it, Mark, that what it gives you when you come out and you feel that bit stronger. Obviously the fans get behind you, it gives you that lift, and they suddenly feel like they can do it quicker, and it just works.
They've also got the option as well to go long into Kiefer, so they've got that security blanket when they are taking risks, passing the ball out from the back or around the sides. They know that if they're ever under pressure, to hang the ball up. Kiefer gives you a great chance of retaining possession.
Well, he's off the pitch at the moment, but flexing his shoulder, and he will come back on. Cody stands it up on the left-hand side. Longman wins a good header, and it's cleared. Thomason brings it under control in the halfway line, and sensibly back to Cody. I love that. Even with the noise in this stadium, you can hear Burton barking at his players. Cleworth over the top. Wrexham still down to 10, but Windass is after this. That was an important interception, and O'Brien's after the loose ball. Back pass comes flying with velocity at Trott, who, unlike last week with Oxford, brings it down very coolly. Was left, but Moore back on the pitch. If you want my opinion on the 30-second rule, as Trott for once gets his distribution wrong, throws on a halfway line. Referring back to the many rants I've had about Kiefer Moore. The guy tries to pull his arm off, and so he gets punished for it. Great, well done, ref. Well, see, that's not the ref's fault. He can't do anything otherwise, can he? Cleworth feeding it forwards to Barnett in his own half, put under good pressure. Back to Cleworth, who drills it long. It's O'Brien getting up, and he can't win that. Ball held up by Salek. Little foot in allows Cody to snap in with a challenge. Salek stays down. Good cross. Davis now at the far post tries a shot and doesn't make proper contact. He was always struggling to get his body shape around that. And it dribbles wide for a goal kick.
With the Cardiff fullback, Bakiel, being booked, I wonder if we try and get the ball down to Longman more, try and get him one-on-one.
Well, he's already gone at him and caused him problems in this half, hasn't he? As Cody goes back to Burton. Moore jumps, wins that well, despite Fish making contact with him and knocking him off balance in the air. Wrexham again just looking more snappy, with Matty James looking to get into the middle of things, be the fulcrum in midfield. Cleworth pops it out to the right hand side. Barnett back to Burton. Right-footed, drilled nicely to O'Brien. He tries to turn it round first time, but gives it away to Wintle. 62nd minute, 1-1. Colwell out wide to the left-hand side. Bagan gives it to Ashford, who cuts in onto his right foot. Squares it on. Joel Colwell now. Put under good pressure, though, by James and Cleworth. He has to drop off to receive it facing goal. Drills a nasty one. A good take again by Burton. It arrives on the bounce, and he again makes it look easier than it is.
Yeah, really well watched in that by Callum. It's a nasty shot that bounces wickedly in front of you. That can easily embarrass any goalkeeper.
And now Wrexham moving it around nicely. Windass switching play. Cleworth on the halfway line. Dobson takes over again.
It's really good to see how positive Callum was after that as well, getting the play moving again. As we've seen, Cardiff are getting drawn out slightly, so if Callum can add to that as well and get the play going, it's really good play.
Wrexham moving it around. Cody lifts a good ball to the right flank. Now Barnett has got more in the middle, delivers early. Chambers just about stretches and gets it away. Capaccio under pressure on the edge of the box, stays cool, but it's sliced back to Wrexham by Wintle. And suddenly Cardiff look a little bit ruffled. Chambers certainly then, well, he's in an awkward position with that cross behind him. Did well to get something on it. Here's Barnett again, driving down the right-hand side. Good pressure on him by Ashford. Nicks it back and Barnett pulls his shirt. We've got the wing-backs into it a lot more. And they've clearly been told, go on, run it and get around the outside. The full-backs, deliver early. It's just got much better tempo, hasn't it?
I think they've probably just been told at half-time to get on the ball more. It's just a basic tactic of, are you getting on the ball? Can you get on the ball more? Be positive when you do have it. Force a mistake out of the Cardiff back line. Can you get crosses in? I think it's a complete reversal from the first half of tactics.
Well, we just saw something then that we didn't see at all in the first half. A long ball to Salek, who's completely isolated. But Cardiff do pick her up again in midfield. Ball worked over to the right-hand side. Davis comes inside. Wrexham back in shape and allowing Cardiff to move the ball around in front of them. It's fed out to the left-hand side. Ashford has got Bagan inside, cuts in himself to the corner of the box, feeds it into feet. And Colin feeds it back out. His brother swings it into the far post. Davis heading across the face of goal. Salek can't get there. Cody was cute there. Just put enough pressure on him to knock him off balance.
Yeah, intelligent defending that from Cody just to push him under the ball.
Good ball back in, but free kick given to Wrexham as Davis shoves his man.
It's taken Cardiff 18 minutes to get any type of possession in the second half. But then you see the quality that they do possess and the chances that they can create. It is a worry. So Wrexham need to stop them moving the ball around, try and break up their possession as much as possible.
So Burton will take the free kick. Yeah, they've still got those qualities, haven't they, that they showed in the first half, but it's a lot more difficult for them to show them. As Cardiff are bringing Wintle off. An indication of how this game is going, that they're having to make a change. And off as well is going to come Joel Colwell. And David Turnbull is going to come on in the centre of midfield, and so too has Alex Robertson. So
yeah, probably they're Cardiff's first choice in terms of that middle two. Alex Robertson only came back from injury on Saturday. It's a really important player for him, the Australian, and someone like Turnbull, so experienced, particularly in the Scottish leagues.
So they've lost control of the middle of the pitch, and they bring on the players who've helped them get to the top of the table. As now Wrexham from the restart, moving it around quickly at the back. Ball fed over to the right-hand side. Barnett goes back to Burton. Wrexham again as Burton first time moves it on, just drawing Cardiff's press. Longman charged down well by Davis. Goal kick to Wrexham.
There's nothing wrong with that from a Wrexham point of view. It actually wastes a lot of energy and momentum from Cardiff's press. They put such a high press and so much effort into that, you can actually burn them out. It's actually quite clever.
Goal kick then. Burton to take. The crowd today, 10,563. 1,249 from Cardiff, as more attacks that just doesn't quite carry to him. Cody looks to play it earlier. Lovely ball out to Barnett on the right-hand side now, who turns. He's got Dobson available around the corner. Feeds it back, and Dobson plays a lovely one to a Cleworth, who comes galloping forwards now. Barnett's outside him. Cleworth might hit this. Squares it. Windass looks to feed in O'Brien, and it's intercepted well on the edge of the area. And a lucky ricochet falls for Salek, who comes driving forward. There's not much support for him. He holds one man off. He'll get a shot off here as he carries it. No, he won't, because of a really good footing by Matty James. Still Salek has it, and James takes it from him but loses it. Shot comes in, deflected. Oh, and it's gone over. I thought that was in. I absolutely thought that was in. Burton had no chance.
I think the whole stadium thought that went in.
Robertson nailed it. It looped just over the bar, but wow.
I was singing Dobson's praises in the first half about the way he throws his body on the line and gets blocks in. I think he's just done it again.
Well, Wrexham survive. Cardiff just having a decent little spell here.
We all took a big deep breath then, by the way.
Oh, too right. In swinger then, Wrexham have everyone back defending. Two out watching the short corner. It's swept into the near post. Firm header clear by Moore. Capaccio plays a pass behind his man, so it goes all the way back from Bagan to Trott, who stands it up. Plenty of time for Thompson to nod it forwards. Moore wins the header. It stood up on the flank, overhit that. O'Brien will want to see it out for the throw in. It's hit to O'Brien there. That's a corner. I mean, whether he was fouled is a moot point. And O'Brien is really not happy. But it is a corner, right-hand side. To be fair, the referees pretty consistently allowed physical contact, and Davis came tearing up behind him. Linesman's right there, gives the corner.
Yeah, he's got the best view of it, hasn't he, linesman?
Yeah.
He has got a lot of Cardiff fans behind him, mind.
Yeah, that's true. In swinger then.
It's very good pressure from Davis as well. Not giving up on it.
Yeah, O'Brien looked to be in control. Bagan sweeps it in, and Burton claws it partly away. It bobbles around on the edge of the box and just won't sit down for the shot. O'Brien launches it clear. Trott is up in the centre circle. Stands it up with his left foot. Big diagonal. It's flicked on, but a foul is given against Barnes as he jumps into his man. And Cardiff are just, well, they're not. It's not the same sort of controlled possession they had in the first half, but they are starting to force Wrexham back again.
It's all started from that Windass. When Wrexham were breaking, Windass chose the wrong pass into O'Brien, and since then Cardiff are having a little spell.
They've got a chance now to put the ball into the box once more. The centre backs are up again. Free kick about 35 yards out, left hand side. 20 minutes remaining. Ball squared. Bagan sets himself, delivers to the far post. Nice shape on that, and it's in. Fish with a thunderous volley. Whether it took a deflection, but it's been coming for the last 5 minutes or so. That, and the centre back got great contact on that at the far post, and Cardiff are back ahead again.
Yeah, well, they do the short one, don't they? It's a really nice whip ball in from Bagan, and then it's just fired back in at the back post. He's got so much space out there, Will Fish, and he's the one that wheels away. It's a great strike.
It's a very good finish. Leaves Callum with absolutely no chance with that. Keeps the ball low and hard, unsighted as well. Callum probably expecting Kiefer Moore to win that header.
Yeah, just too much on it, wasn't it? Goes over his head. And Wrexham are behind again. It's not long left, 20 minutes left now, but that Moore just doesn't quite make it, and that's a hell of a strike by Fish. Smashes it in. Burton's got to get across the goal. He's got no chance, really. So Wrexham need to find that energy again. Barry Murphy jumping up and down the side of the pitch. Longman, good ball forwards, finds O'Brien. O'Brien, left hand side, waits for Longman, feeds him in. Longman now has got the two strikers in the box, drives to the goal line, pulls it back nicely, and Moore scoops it. He put it wide, he mishit that one. There's a chance that.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be that Longman-Moore combo again. Really well played by Longman.
And O'Brien wins a corner. Yeah, Moore just didn't get the right contact. Put it wide, it was kept in.
You can see on two occasions there, Capaccio not wanting to tackle. He's been beat twice down the line and he's actually not tackling on purpose, just in case.
So James plays a short corner. Dobson delivers to the far post. Dangerous header, just over. Moore got it well. Again, just couldn't quite keep it down, but Wrexham knocking on the door once more.
What a great positive reaction from Wrexham. Since conceding the goal, they've had a couple of attacks, a great chance there for Kiefer Moore. Great cross from Dobson too.
Well, they try and do what Cardiff have just done to them in that short one. Sort of test that back line, see if they're willing to push out immediately, if they're going to get caught on their heels. It almost comes off, great chance.
Thomason gets it back to Burton, who mishits it. It'll be brought down on the right-hand side and fed back into midfield. Robertson keeps the ball moving to his left. Bagan tries to slide it through. The pass wasn't read though. Moore holds it up but then gives it away. And there's danger here as Cowell prods it wide. Davis won't quite be able to keep it in. But well, it's all up for grabs now as Burton is urged by the crowd to take it quickly. In the end, Wrexham playing it short. Ball clipped to the halfway line. Moore beaten to it by Fish. Miscontrol by Davis. Throwing 30 yards out to Wrexham from their own goal. Thomason. The Cardiff fans making all the noise. As it's thrown back to Cody. Cody goes long, looking for Windass. Intercepted and broke. Nice control by Robertson, who feeds it out to the right-hand side. Gets a return pass. Chance to cross. Pulls back instead. Matty James tracked it well. Corner.
Well, Matty James has done a lot of good work since coming on at half-time, especially defensively. He's been everywhere, really, for Wrexham. Been so important. But the reaction was really good initially. Just got to make sure they're resilient in moments like this and don't give Cardiff anything extra to hang on to.
You can see Kiefer Moore as well, furious that the goal kick's not gone direct into him. Wrexham have tried to play the ball around the back a few times and just getting caught underneath the ball, not playing the ball long enough, and Kiefer's furious about that.
Began with the in-swinger. Cardiff are crowding around Burton. It's sent beyond the far post. The referee sees a foul. And so that ends swiftly. Can Wrexham gather themselves for a big finish? 15 minutes left plus added time. Wrexham have got a triple change lined. Double change we've made. Three. We've got three players stripped off. Ahayim is just going back to his seat. I wonder if there was a miscalculation there. Moore gets a foot in. Throw goes against Wrexham. I've got to be honest, although the crowd and players aren't happy, I thought it was a Cardiff throw. Look, Kabore is ready to come on. As Capaccio's in no rush to take this. Steps up now, throws down the line, headed away by Longman. Dobson brings it under control, but well, he hasn't given it away actually. Thompson does well to feed it to Matty James. Good ball in turn to Windass. He works it over to the right hand side. Barnett isolated, drives forwards, drives Cardiff back, and then lays it back to Cleworth on the halfway line. Matty James now. Cardiff energetic again, their manager dancing up and down the sides of the pitch as Thomason plays a good ball. Lewis O'Brien now has got Windass and Moore in the middle. He drives forwards, good feet, works it wide. Capaccio's after that, gets there first, but the referee did well, played the advantage and then pulls it back, so O'Brien was taken out off the ball. So it's Hardy who's going to come on, and are we going to sacrifice a centre back and go to four at the back, I wonder? We're not going to see the change yet because we're going to see it. Oh, we are going to see it. Barnett off, Kabore on. And, yeah, Hardy for Cody. Thompson stays on as a centre-back in a back four. Well, there we go. We've gone for it. 13 minutes plus added time left. Free kick, O'Brien to take. He signals, left-footed, floats it in nicely. Header goes too close to Trott. Decent contact that from a long way out by Hardy, but yeah.
Nearly an unbelievable substitution there.
That would be something, wouldn't it? Straight away, first touch. There's Kabore's first touch, heading the ball forward. It's an awkward one though, and in the end Wrexham managed to win it back after a heavy touch from Dobson. Now that's a good ball, and Hardy is running in around the back of the defence. 1-on-1, Fish forces him away from goal, he turns. Can he get the shot off? Great block by Fish, brilliant defending that. Hardy was goal side of him. Here's Longman now, Moore still lurks at the far post. Longman feeds at the edge of the area, O'Brien can't take it, under pressure from Colwell. Another promising moment for Wrexham.
Just looked like Hardy wasn't quite sharp enough to get on that ball, maybe a lack of match fitness there.
Oh, but Wrexham are opening things up again. Starting to put pressure on. Hardy getting involved twice since he's come on. It's a long diagonal from Cleworth looking for Longman. Lovely ball. Longman heads it back. Capaccio gets there though, and Longman, little tug at him. Capaccio feels it, goes down, wins the free kick. Wrexham, as we often do when we play the four at the back system, are leaving one of the wing backs, Longman, up the pitch half the time, because this is a risk-taking formation. Even more of us when Cleworth steps up into midfield and the ball's played over the top. A gasp from the Wrexham fans. Turnbull helps it on, left side of the box. It's fed back to Turnbull. Wrexham have got bodies back now. Turnbull again has got movement inside him, works it back. Bagan tackled really well. That's good work by Kabore, and he tries to surge forwards. He's outnumbered in the end. But yeah, there's going to be so many risks taken by Wrexham now. Longwood and Kabore both looking to get up the pitch. Windass playing off the front too. Ball fed down the left-hand side, and here now Colwell again gliding over the turf, cutting inside, gets at the edge of the area, hits the shot, blocked and smashed away by O'Brien. It's brought down once more, and Bagan sweeps a dangerous ball in. Longman does really well, just gets out ahead of Davis. Throw to Cardiff, level the edge of the area.
Yeah, well, it'll be interesting to see now Longman and Kabore's roles. How much do they commit? Because then they've got to get back. Because Cardiff got so much quality out wide.
Throw taken short. Turnbull again, feeding it back. Robertson back to him on the right-hand side. It gives him a chance to turn and sweep it in the box. And Salek comes off his body, hits his hands. Referee gives it. Free kick on the penalty spot to Wrexham, which Burton will take. Moore and Hardy up there. No niceties now. Burton goes long for Moore. He jumps and flicks that on. Drops down the wrong channel. Hardy can't get there. Capaccio squares it across his penalty area. And Bagan's got a chance to bring that out now. We're into the last 10 minutes here at the racecourse. It's Cardiff just happy to take the sting out of things for the moment. The ball goes back to Trott. He chips it cutely. Well, I say cutely, it's an awkward little bounce. Fish improvises a nice header to Capaccio. O'Brien just chasing his great work. Tremendous tackle. But then Thomason's pass doesn't find a teammate, and there's danger here. Burton has to be really quick off his line as well to clear Bagan on the halfway line. Allows Robertson to take over. Cardiff have another change ready, but Bagan lets the ball roll under his foot. Throw in to Wrexham. And we'll see the change, and Bagan actually maybe is distracted knowing he's about to be removed. Who comes off? And on his place, Perrien.
Yeah, I thought it would be Capaccio being on the yellow that would make way, but Ng's come on the right, and Capaccio's moved over to that left side for Cardiff. So, you know, the impulse has got to be on Kabore now to get at him, with him being on that yellow, which we know he can do.
Well, yeah, he's gone over to the right. It looks like an obvious change, isn't it? But Bagan, was doing all right, I thought, and was certainly looking good on set pieces, has gone off. Capaccio on the left. Cardiff go long. He's done really well up front, hasn't he? They're selected. Often isolated in the second half, but he fights so well. Ball fed into midfield again. Colwell dominant, works her over to the right hand side. It's helped on further. Davis drifting inside off the flank. It's a nice little pass. He picks up the return ball from Robertson. Hits a shot. Burton, it was swerving. He had to parry that. Vicious shot that. He does parry it, and Wrexham now with Windass under pressure on the edge of his area, helped out. The ball dug forwards by Dobson, and Kabore has a chance now to run at Capaccio. It's good tracking back to help out, but Kabore bursts past one man, can't quite keep it in. Unlucky that Brian knocks the loose ball into the net, but it's a throw to Cardiff.
That's the matchup we want to see now. We want to see Kabore using that energy and pace, getting right at him.
Another save as well by Burton, who really, I mean, had a terrific game at the back. Davis has gone down. The referee's having a long consultation with him. He won't let the physio on. So Cardiff with the throw-in. They've done that sort of thing pretty well, haven't they? Just to run the clock down a little bit. There's more runs up just to kick a second ball off the pitch. So throw deep in their own half. Capaccio throws down the line. It's flicked on. Well won in the air though. Now Dobson, who rides a challenge. Moore lays it off. Now then, Windass squares O'Brien. Good ball to Moore. Hits a shot from outside the box. But a little deflection. I think they're taking a bit of pace off it. Easy take for Trott. 4 minutes left back whilst the Trott. You had two Wrexham players in the 6-yard box to try and pressure him, but he gets rid of it. Cleworth handles Salek well, allowing it to go through to Thomason. Back to Burton. Burton feeds it to Thomason on the left-hand side. Put under pressure, good work by Salek. Matty James takes over. Cardiff working hard, not letting Wrexham have an easy ball out. Wrexham looking to be patient. Now Burton will go long. Moore backpedaling. Hardy looking to run off him. Good header by Chambers though. And Cardiff are first at the second ball. O'Brien's chasing eagerly. Can't nick the ball though from N. And it's worked over to the left-hand side. Capaccio receives in midfield. Forced backwards, but he's happy with that. Cardiff just keeping possession. Back to Trott. Again, delivers first time deep into Wrexham's half. Thomason wins the header. But again, Cardiff first at the second ball. N pops it inside, gets it back. And now rolls it down the line. Turnbull back to him. Cardiff in comfortable possession. Just, like I say, just taking the sting out. Capaccio comes forwards in an inverted advanced position and makes him available on the overlap for a return pass. Good work to pinch it from him by Dobson, who feeds to the halfway line. Maud as well taking the chest. Good tackle by Chambers. O'Brien picks up the loose ball. Great ball. Windass now in space down the right. Has two players attacking the box. He plays it in early. Moore brings it down. It sits behind him, but he hits the shot. Defender blocks it in front of the keeper. Moore gets to the loose ball. Longman now on the left. Early right-footed ball too close to the keeper. There's time to pat it down and grab it on the way back up.
All starts from Dobson defending. Really good play. Snuffs out the danger really well. Puck gets the ball into O'Brien, who quick counter-attack. Really good through ball.
Here's N now on the right-hand side, picked up nicely in a bit of space, able to cross the halfway line. Feeds it over the top of Longman, and Davis has loads of time here. Drives into the box, feeds in the goal mouth. Good defending. That's a project clear by Thomason. Beats Salek to it. And Cardiff in no Wrexham throw, beg your pardon.
Yeah, well, Wrexham weren't in much of a rush. I think they thought it went the other way. But again, sort of half chance for Kiefer Moore. He just doesn't quite get a hold of it. Maybe is the shot really on in that position when he's got blue shirts in front of him?
Cardiff have another change lined up as Capaccio pulls it back to the halfway line. Wrexham get close to him. Good scrapping by Dobson. Which way does the throw go? Wrexham's way on the halfway line. And Cardiff will make the change. And waste a bit more time as well, of course, in doing so. On comes Gabriel Osho to replace Ashford. So 3 at the back now. Osho goes left-sided position to try and deal with the anticipated onslaught. O'Brien's made a nice run. Thomason decides he can't play it in though. Squares it for Cleworth. Now then, Cleworth drives towards Cardiff, trying to hold a high line. Cleworth, he's still carrying it. Works outside him now. Early ball in towards Dwindas, who flicks it on nicely. Good header by Fishers, gets ahead of Moore. And then a cute chest down by Salek. And now it's Colwell keeping his cool on the edge of his area. He's just jogged through this game. Fed down the line. That's a tremendous ball by Andy Davis, who's isolated, and he'll go to the corner flag. He's holding Longman off. And Longman, in the end, goes to the ground. Can't get it off him. Matty James comes over, leaning on Davis. He's done really well, Davis. Longman, in the end, manages to snap into a tackle and win it back. 2 minutes plus added time left for Wrexham to rescue this game. Cleworth to Kabore, deep in his own half. Wrexham trying to move it around, trying to find the angle to play it forwards. Moore goes over the top and it's fed towards him. It's a testing ball and it's great strength by Moore. Gets in the box, forced away from goal. Only Hardy's kept up with him. Wrexham need to get support to him. Moore gestures to his teammates saying that. Windass now. Cardiff have been able to get back because no one came to help. Longman into the middle of the pitch. Matty James quickly helps it on further. Dobson now chips it in towards Moore. Moore gets it well to head it back. Windass attacks it. And a foul given against him, and I can't see that. O'Brien it is, in fact. I mean, for me, they both went for the ball with their heads. I don't see how he's given a foul for that.
No, it's never a foul. It's just a good challenge. Great leap and timing from O'Brien.
I'll tell you what, though, I think Longman really tired out on this left-hand side. Kiefer Moore had it in a really good position. He just didn't have any support. Longman was just stood watching it, really. I think just trying to get some air in those lungs because he just didn't look like he was able to get forward and support.
It's just because the game's become a little bit stretched as well in the final few minutes. Dobson plays a really good ball over the top to Kiefer Moore, who holds the ball up nice and strong, but just can't get that support to him.
Just seen the replay of that foul. I mean, if that's a foul, I'm a banana. There's never a foul. That was unbelievable. Both players' eyes on the ball. O'Brien jumped higher. That was his crime. There's Windass now over the top and outside of his looking for Hardy. Well, it would have to be a worldie to pick Hardy out with that. And Trott is able to come to the edge of the area and take it. Trott left-footed, drills it long. 10 seconds added time left. Awkward one for Thomason does well. Gets it back to Burton. Launches it right-footed. We're about to see how long's going to be added on. 5 minutes. Fish heads it clear. Salek knocks it down, but Cleworth picks it up. Wrexham crowd getting behind him now. Longman gets it back from O'Brien down the left-hand side, level the edge area, sweeps it in, headed partly away. Kabore attacks it. Oh, nods it backwards. Maybe he could have gone towards goal there. James picks it up though. Dobson, Cleworth snappily forwards. Kabore gets it out from between his feet and slips. Capaccio gets to him. Kabore looks to get around the outside, drills it near post. Smash, that'll play. Throw level the edge of the area.
Yeah, Wrexham really putting the pressure on in these final few minutes. Just need that one chance now.
Dobson gives it back to Cleworth. And now here's Kabore on his left foot, sets himself, crosses to the far post. Moore. Oh, he's handled well. It's gone for a corner. They did well to block him off there. The defender has I think Moore's complaining he's fouled. I think it's more just cute defending, isn't it, really?
As Wrexham fans, are we used to seeing this?
The last gasp. Kitchen sink.
Slight expectation in the air.
Matty James signals. Sweeps the corner to the far post, headed away. That'll be a throw to Wrexham by the corner flag, will it? Oh, it's been really well chased down. Osho's managed to keep it in, and he clears. Kabore, the last defender, has to go back to Burton. Burton takes a touch, drills it through the middle, and heads it clear. And he's found a teammate as well. Great tackle by Dobson, who's followed through onto as well. No card from the ref. Not sure why he didn't carry on then, because the ball fell to Moore at the edge of the box. He has given the card, I beg your pardon.
That looked a dirty challenge as well. I think
Yeah.
that's it. In any other minute of this game, not in extra time, that could have been a different decision for the referee.
He really ploughed through late, didn't he?
Bit high and reckless.
So it's taken. Windass sweeps it in. Defender gets a header to it. Moore trying to keep it alive, but Osho is able to get a foot in. Moore scrapping for it, but Cardiff bring it clear. That's a lovely considered pass by Colwell, and it's helped on now down the left-hand side. Davis sprinting away into the box. 2 players to beat. Matty James again. What a good second half he's had. Takes the ball from him, brings it clear, and then clips it down the line. It's not an accurate pass, mind.
Great defending though, just snuffs out that danger so well, uses all of his intelligence.
It was terrific that, wasn't it, as the ball is not long. It was Salek who was guilty of that foul and got the cards, by the way. As Longman now. We've had 2 and just over a half of the 5 added minutes. Last knockings here, Dobson on the right. Moore wants it early. It's stood in towards him in the box, just over his head though. He acknowledges that it was the right idea. And a lot of fans take the cue to leave as Cardiff will run the clock down now on this goal kick. Trot. See how far he can take it. As he's finally spotted the ball up. The Cardiff fans singing their team home. It's not the chorus Wrexham fans wanted to hear at the end as the Cardiff fans sing there's only one team in Wales.
Been a frustrating night for Wrexham, hasn't it?
Oh, massively. The first half, which Cardiff dominated, but they only scored through a mistake. And Thomason lost it.
Wrexham lacked a little bit of quality as well on the ball. It's only since Matty James has come on they've really had a foothold. Yeah,
that triple change at half-time's made such a big difference as here come Wrexham. We're into the last minute now. Kabore on the right has got a runner ahead of him. He cuts inside. He's got no great options, but he manages to work it wide. Now then, what can Windass do? Gets in his right foot, rips it in. Osho heads it clear. Cleworth pops it straight back to Windass. Whips it in again. Dangerous ball. Fish puts it behind for the corner. Wasn't that far off an own goal? Wow. At the far post. Just got enough on it.
Nearly a chance out of nothing. That's poor defending from Cardiff, lack of communication, but gives Wrexham this opportunity.
Well, this has got to be it. Burton is up. Oh, and James is going to be told to spot the ball. 15 seconds left, yeah, and of course the ref comes across and it is in the quadrant. I don't know. Burton is up on the edge of the 6-yard box now, just looking to cause mischief. Oh, now the referee is going to intervene. Never fully understand that, really. Just let people pull the shirts and give the foul either way.
It's because he doesn't want to have to make that decision in this minute.
Exactly. So here we go, we're over the 5. Matty James sweeps it in over Burton's head. It's headed away and the ref gives a free kick in to Cardiff, which felt a bit predictable, frankly. I had a funny feeling he was going to do that after all the shenanigans then.
It's the easy option for a referee. Any touch in there, you get the game over and done with. You blow your whistle, give a foul.
Yeah, exactly. So we've had over the 5 minutes and Cardiff look like they got the team going through to the quarter-final of the League Cup as Trott stands on the free kick.
Must say I've been very impressed with Cardiff. Young, energetic side, play good football.
There is the final whistle. Cardiff win 2-1. Salek with the opening goal, scoring a tap-in after an absolutely brilliant save by Burton, who kept Wrexham in it in the first half with a string of fine saves. Wrexham really couldn't get close to Cardiff, who, as Mark said, have just knocked the ball around beautifully. Triple change at half-time, and Wrexham came back at Cardiff hard. Kiefer Moore scoring a good close-range header to equalise, but Cardiff were not to be denied, and in the end it was Fish with a terrific tight-angle volley from a Bagan cross who gave them the 2-1 win. Wrexham pushed hard, but ultimately, I mean, it was Burton who was the much busier goalkeeper. He comes out of it with a huge amount of credit, but ultimately Wrexham miss out.
Yeah, very frustrating. Obviously Callum Burton's had a great game in goal tonight, but yeah, Cardiff put a lot of pressure on, high energy, very energetic, lots of pace, and some really good forward play. I was really impressed with Salek, really impressed with Colwill. Yeah, a good Cardiff side tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they moved it around really quickly, and we just weren't getting close enough to them. First half, they were terrific. Wrexham's improvement in the second half. Matty James came on, and he anchored the midfield well and got that ball moving. Wrexham were more direct on the flanks. Longman was, well, the first time he went around the outside, he set up the goal. Moore made an impact up front as well, but ultimately, like you said, there was a spell at 1-1 where Wrexham really were putting the pressure on, but Cardiff wrestled it back, didn't they, about 5 minutes before that second goal. You could sort of see it coming. To be fair, they look a strong side. You can see why they're top of the league.
And a real togetherness from them. It did look, the first half especially from Wrexham, a bit of a team of individuals, not really knowing their place in the team, fighting for their own opportunity. But yeah, I'm not really sure anyone's done enough tonight to put a marker down for Friday.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously, the narrative now will be about us rotating the team, although as Mia rightly points out, Cardiff made 5 changes as well. And, you know, hindsight's a wonderful thing. That rotation has got us this far, and these are players that, well, firstly, Phil Parkinson trusts, and secondly, the likes of O'Brien, who are players that we've brought in to enhance our team and have been first choice for most of the season. It's a legitimate move he's made, but unfortunately it's not come off for us.
Yeah, just not enough people with 90 minutes in the legs. I think we didn't look sharp enough in the first half. I mean, even you see Hardy get played through towards it in the second half, and just not quite at his full match sharpness. You'd expect him to almost take that on and take the defender on. Yeah, slightly disappointed in that aspect of Wrexham. A lot of changes tonight from Phil Parkinson. Normally people try and take their chance and put a real marker down to get in that team on Friday, and just don't feel like anyone's really done that tonight.
Yeah, it was sort of in the periods where we looked to be really struggling. If anyone, it was Dobson, I think, who really seemed to be the one who was having an impact on the game. And yeah, like I say, he'll be playing on Friday, you would assume anyway. And that takes on a big complexion now. As of course, having rotated, you want to see us able to get something out of that game, don't you?
Yeah, 100%. Obviously, the Wrexham fans and the manager herself, they'll all be disappointed to be knocked out, especially with a Welsh rival here. It's just, we're used to winning at home, and it does feel different this year. That momentum shift has changed. I think we're all used to scoring late goals, and throughout the season we have scored a few, but just not enough. And again tonight, just lack quality and crossing. People like players on the pitch like Kiefer Moore, you need to get the ball in the box and hope he does the business. Obviously he scored one tonight, but it was from one cross that Longman's put in, slight deflection, but yeah, just not enough crosses going in the box, not enough blocking of the crosses. Defending was lacklustre at times. I know there was a lot of people throwing their body on the line, but yeah, not really defending the ball coming in the box first of all.
My dad was here in the 50s when the Busby Babes played here, and he talked about Duncan Edwards just looking bigger and better than anybody else on the pitch, and quite frankly, I've got to say, I didn't enjoy Cardiff's performance, but I admired it. And Ruben Colwill sometimes felt a bit, you know, he's big, he's physical, but he glides around the pitch and moves the ball so well. And, you know, players like him showed real calibre, I thought.
Yeah, definitely. He's got a real intelligence about his game, but yeah, he's got a touch of guile and class about him. Yeah, a real player to look forward to seeing more of, especially in a Welsh shirt.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, for us in the Premier League next season, who knows? Well, disappointment for Wrexham. We could have been in the quarterfinals, but as there is, we miss out. Been a fun run anyway.
Exactly. Back to the league form now. Something to concentrate on. Some difficult games coming up, and yeah. obviously Coventry coming here on Friday will be a tough test.
And a big day and another game to look forward to. The big games keep on coming, and let's be honest, that's what we want, isn't it? As fans, as players, let's have those challenges coming. So disappointment for Wrexham, but we go again on Friday. Maybe not the worst thing to have a game so soon, just to get back at the horse.
That's it. There's been some really positive performances in the league, Oxford, Middlesbrough. So I think it'll be back to business as usual.
Absolutely. It's always a pleasure to bring the games to you all, even when they end like this. And Mark, thank you so much again. You did a cracking job. Your insight is fascinating. It really is.
I'm really loving being here. Thanks for having me.
Fantastic. And of course, Mia as well, who's did her usual fantastic job. But with a final score of Wrexham 1, Cardiff City 2, we've been Mark Griffiths, Mark Howard, and Mia Roberts from Wrexham AFC.